Wait! Before we start, do you want a bundle of 30 printable Filipino PDF cheat sheets? Teaching you words and phrases for conversations for free? Then click the link in the description and sign up for a free lifetime account to get access.
How are your Filipino listening skills? First, you'll see an image and hear a question. Next comes a short dialogue. Listen carefully and see if you can answer correctly. We'll show you the answer at the end. Are you ready?
May isang babae at isang lalaki na tumitingin sa menu sa isang kainan. Ano ang o-orderin ng lalaki?
Ano ang orderin mo?
Mukhang masarap ang pizza. Sa palagay ko, yun ang o-orderin ko.
Nagpizza ako kahapon. Kaya
Okay, ano kaya kung hamburger?
mukhang masarap. Sige, yun ang orderin ko.
Ano ang o-orderin ng lalaki? May isang babae at isang lalaki na tumitingin sa menu sa isang kainan. Ano ang o-orderin ng lalaki?
Ano ang orderin mo?
Mukhang masarap ang pizza. Sa palagay ko, yun ang o-orderin ko.
Nagpizza ako kahapon. Kaya
Okay, ano kaya kung hamburger?
mukhang masarap. Sige, yun ang orderin ko.
Did you get it right? I hope you learned something from this quiz. Let us know if you have any questions. See you next time.
Hello sa inyong lahat, ako si Erica. Ang Dinagyang Festival ay pinagdiriwang tuwing ika-4 na linggo ng Enero, sa Iloilo bilang pagpupugay sa Santo Niño. Ang dinagyang ay isang salitang Ilonggo na ang ibig sabihin ay magdiwang at magkaroon ng kasiyahan. Ito ay isa sa mga pista na ginaganap para sa Santo Niño, kagaya ng ati-atihan ng Aklan at ng Sinulog ng Cebu. Paano ba ipinagdiriwang ang dinagyang? Malalaman natin iyan sa lesson na ito. Alam nyo ba na ang dinagyang ay mayroong mascot? Alam nyo ba kung ano ang pangalan nito? Sasabihin namin ang sagot sa katapusan ng video na ito. Unang tinawag ang dinagyang sa pangalan na Iloilo Ati-Atihan, para pag-ibahin ito mula sa ati-atihan ng Aklan. Nagumpisa ito noong taong 1967 nang dalhin sa Iloilo ang isang replika ng Santo Niño mula sa Cebu. Sinalubong ng mga deboto ang imahen pagkalapag nito sa paliparan at ipinarada ito sa mga kalye ng Iloilo. Noong una, ipinagdiriwang lamang ito sa parokya, hanggang sa dumami na ang mga tribo na sumasali taon-taon at naging mas magarbo at mas masigla na ang mga naging selebrasyon. Isa sa mga pangunahing kaganapan ay ang kasadyahan. Ito ay isang dramatisasyon ng buhay ng mga Aita pagdating ng mga datu mula Borneo at ang sumunod na kolonisasyon ng mga isla ng mga Espanyol. Ginagawa ito sa pamamagitan ng sayaw. Tinuturing itong isang kultural na dance parade dahil sa naipapakita nito ang kultura at ilang bahagi ng kasaysayang Pilipino at dahil na rin sa kulay at ganda ng mga costume ng mga mananayaw. Ang mga pinakamahalagang batayan ng pagkapanalo sa kompetisyong ito ay ang tema ng dramatisasyon at galing sa pagsayaw. Lahat ng mga sayaw ay sinasayaw sa saliw ng tambol at lahat ng mga costume ng mga mananayaw ay yari sa mga katutubong materyales. Gaya ng ati-atihan ng Aklan, pinipintahan ng itim na mga mananayaw ang kanilang balat. Isa pa sa mga pinakaabangang bahagi ng dinagyang ay ang Iloilo Ati-Atihan Dance Competition. Sa kompetisyong ito, ang tema ng mga sayaw ay mga pantribong sayaw. Tunay ngang agaw atensyon nito dahil sa garbo ng mga costume at sigla ng bawat galaw ng mga mananayaw. Sinasabing nagsimula ang dinagyang at ati-atihan ng bilhin ng 10 datu ng Borneo ang panay mula sa mga Aita. Ito ay nakatala sa alamat ng Maragtas, na tinatawag rin na Kodigo ng Maragtas, na nagdedetalye ng pagdating ng 10 datu sa panay upang takasan ang pagmamalupit ni Datu Makatunaw ng Borneo. At ngayon, ibibigay ko na ang sagot sa tanong kanina. Alam nyo ba na ang dinagyang ay mayroong mascot? Alam nyo ba kung ano ang pangalan nito? Dagoy ang pangalan ng mascot ng dinagyang. Una siyang ipinakilala bilang opisyal na mascot ng dinagyang noong taong 2004. Inilalarawan siya bilang isang batang aitang mandirigma, kayumanggiang balat at may suot na headdress na may disenyo ng Santo Niño. Simbolo siya ng pagkakaibigan ng mga Ilonggo at ng mga turistang dumadayo sa Iloilo para masaksihan ng dinagyang. Kamusta ang lesson na ito? May interesanteng bagay ba kayong natutunan? Anong kahalintulad na selebrasyon ang pinagdiriwang ninyo? Mag-iwan kayo ng komento sa filipinopod101.com. Hanggang sa susunod na lesson!
Did you download your free PDF cheat sheets yet? These conversation cheat sheets are an easy way to speak more because you get cheat sheets for conversational topics like the weather, family, hobbies, and much more. And inside, you'll learn common questions and answers that you'd use in conversations, as well as tons of vocabulary. Don't miss out on this free gift. Click the link in the description to get access.
Hi everyone, I'm Gabriella. How are your Filipino listening skills? In this video, you'll have a chance to test them out with a quiz. First, you'll see an image and hear a question. Next comes a short dialogue. Listen carefully and see if you can answer correctly. We'll show you the answer at the end. Are you ready?
May isang lalaki na naghahanap ng regalo para sa kaarawan ng kanyang asawa sa isang tindahan ng alahas. Anong kwintas ang bibilhin niya? Ano pong maitutulong ko?
Naghahanap ako ng regalo para sa kaarawan ng asawa ko. Anong maimumungkahi mo?
Ano pong tingin nyo sa kwintas na ito?
Mukhang medyo mahaba.
Yung mga andito po kaya, mayroon kaming may bulaklak na palawit, mayroon ding isa na may puso.
Naghahanap ako ng mas sopistikado ang dating. Magkano ang perlas na kwintas na andito banda?
$5,000 po.
Masyadong mahal. Okay, kukunin ko yung una.
Sige po. Heto na. Anong kwintas ang bibilhin niya? May isang lalaki na naghahanap ng regalo para sa kaarawan ng kanyang asawa sa isang tindahan ng alahas. Anong kwintas ang bibilhin niya? Ano pong maitutulong ko?
Naghahanap ako ng regalo para sa kaarawan ng asawa ko. Anong maimumungkahi mo?
Ano pong tingin nyo sa kwintas na ito?
Mukhang medyo mahaba.
Yung mga andito po kaya, mayroon kaming may bulaklak na palawit, mayroon ding isa na may puso.
Naghahanap ako ng mas sopistikado ang dating. Magkano ang perlas na kwintas na andito banda?
$5,000 po.
Masyadong mahal. Okay, kukunin ko yung una.
Sige po. Heto na.
Did you get it right? I hope you learned something from this quiz. Let us know if you have any questions. See you next time.
Hi everyone, I'm Erica, and welcome to Filipino Top Words. Our lesson for today is 10 most romantic ideas for a date. Candlelit dinner. Candlelit dinner. Candlelit dinner. So our first idea is candlelit dinner. Or in English, candlelit dinner. Uso pa ba ngayon ang date na candlelit dinner? Uso pa ba ngayon ang date na candlelit dinner? Is a candlelit dinner still a popular idea for a date? I don't know, is it?
I think so.
I don't know, we haven't done candlelit dinner. I think, personally for me, I don't like it when I eat in very, dimly lit.
Really?
I like eating, in dimly lit restaurants, but not, super dark, especially when it's just, a very small candle.
It doesn't.
No,
need
because
to
of my
be.
eyes, I think. Because I need more light.
But usually candlelit dinner is not just candle.
No, but there are some places like that, right? Like, for instance, you eat out in open spaces, and then they have this. Because it's really, even at home sometimes, Svetlin just wants to turn on, one of the lamps in the living room. But then to me, it's I cannot see my food. I want to see my food. So I turn on everything.
Parang barbecue on camping.
Yeah, I don't want to be, I cannot see my food, so I don't know, but to some people, of course, this is like very romantic. And I think it's a very romantic thing because you are prettier, more handsome in the dark. I think that's the purpose of candlelit dinner, right? You have to agree with me. Yes. See? Maglakad ng malayo ng magkasama. Maglakad ng malayo ng magkasama. To go for a long walk. Maglakad ng malayo ng magkasama. To go for a long walk. Masayang maglakad ng malayo ng magkasama. Masayang maglakad ng malayo ng magkasama. It's fun to go on a long walk together. I think this is true because I remember when me and Svetlina are still flirting with each other. We walked for 3 hours. Or I think just because he doesn't have money. He's so poor. Hi, person. So I think that, but actually this is very good because walking together makes you fit and then makes you more, makes you talk more to each other, right? So then you can have like really good conversations while you're talking and then you see different things, you see different people. You're just very, invigorated while you're walking. But at the same time also because you don't have money, I think. Right? Yes, that means if your partner wants to walk so much, that means it's a very practical partner, right? And also a very poor partner.
Poor but healthy.
Poor and healthy, yeah. So this person will live very long. Prepare to walk for very long. Mag-bowling. Mag-bowling. To go bowling. Mag-bowling or to go bowling. Imbitahin natin ang iba pang kaibigan para mag-bowling. Imbitahin natin ang iba pang kaibigan para mag-bowling. Let's invite some friends to go bowling. Bowling is actually much more fun if you go there with friends, right? Then because you feel like very competitive, you just want to beat your friends, beat them to the dust. Right?
You could use your bowling ball for that.
Yeah. But I'm never good at bowling. Yeah, so...
It's still fun.
Yeah, but it's really fun even if you're not good at it. It's not so expensive also, right? So it's a good idea for a date actually because then you both get fit, you see each other like having fun, and then it's not so expensive. Very good. Pumunta sa aquarium. Pumunta sa aquarium. To go to the aquarium. Pumunta sa aquarium. To go to the aquarium. Maraming taong pumupunta sa aquarium para mag-date. Maraming taong pumupunta sa aquarium para mag-date. There are a lot of people going on a date to the aquarium. Have you been for a date?
Not really a date. I'm still a friend thing.
Yeah, I like seeing fish. I like eating fish. But I'm not like the type of person to actively go to an aquarium for a date. I think
Maybe it's also like it's kind of dark and like the water is like...
I am moving. It's very romantic. And then again, in the dark, you are both like more handsome and prettier, right? And then, yeah.
Or at least you feel like you're prettier than
The fish. Especially if it's a jellyfish. Or it's a blowfish. No, I think for many people, I think especially if you watch Japanese dramas, right? There's always like some scene in the aquarium, right? So, yeah, so probably I think it's a very, especially if it's a pretty aquarium, but if it's like a not so clean looking aquarium, probably not a good place to bring your date to. So choose your aquariums. Pumunta sa opera. Pumunta sa opera. To go to the opera. Pumunta sa opera. Or to go to the opera. Mahilig si Maria sa opera songs, kaya pumunta sila ni Ibarra sa opera. Mahilig si Maria sa opera songs, kaya pumunta sila ni Ibarra sa opera. Maria likes opera songs. That's why she and Ibarra went to the opera. But in the Philippines, we don't have so much... There are theaters, of course, right? We can go to the theater, watch a play, right? See
musical.
musical. But opera, we don't really have opera. But before, I think in the history, you had like zarzuela, like really old types of opera, zarzuela or vaudeville, right? Those kinds of older ones. But they're not really being done now, I think. So, yeah, so those old songs. So that's why probably Maria likes opera songs, because it reminds her of her because Maria and Ibarra are Maria Clara actually. And Ibarra are characters from a novel by our national hero Jose Rizal. And yeah, they like opera songs. Pumunta sa zoo. Pumunta sa zoo. To go to the zoo. Pumunta sa zoo. To go to the zoo. Pumunta kami sa zoo sa Kenya. Pumunta kami sa zoo sa Kenya. We went to a zoo in Kenya. Wow, they're very rich. You go to Kenya and just go to a zoo. Right. I haven't been to Kenya. I wish I could go to Kenya. I think it would be really, really exciting to go to Kenya. But if you don't have money and you're already in the Philippines, there's so many zoos in there, right? Manila Zoo is one big zoo.
Wildlife.
Yeah, Parks and Wildlife in Quezon City, right? And where else?
If you're in Bohol, you go see Tarsier.
Yeah, so see Tarsier if you're in Bohol. And we have so much like fauna, right? So much to see in the Philippines. You will look at very cute animals, scary animals.
And why do you think it's romantic to?
But I don't know also. I don't know. Let's ask people. Why is it romantic to go to the zoo? Please let us know. Mag-picnic. Mag-picnic. To have a picnic. Mag-picnic. Or to have a picnic. Masayang mag-picnic kasama ang ibang kaibigan. Masayang mag-picnic kasama ang ibang kaibigan. It's enjoyable to have a picnic with friends. This is a very good idea, I think. Right? Then because I think if you're just like in the beginning of your dating, then you can see how this girl or this guy interacts with your friends. And it's a good, I think it helps you understand more if you're really going to be like good with this person, like good together with this person or not.
It's judgment time.
Yeah, and then at the same time, this is very affordable. Picnic is very affordable. Just like bring some stuff to eat, enjoy the weather, and then just have nice conversations with your friends, right? So I think it's a very good idea.
And bring the guitar.
Yeah, and then in the Philippines, actually, you bring a guitar because everyone likes to sing, right? And then just someone would be playing music and then you start singing, right? That's very, very nice. Then where can you have a picnic? Luneta Park, Quezon City Circle. In Luneta Park, you can have a very nice picnic there. But usually I go there with, I think, there were some mornings when I was a kid that Papa would just bring us all, me, Gilio, Mama, Eric. And then he would just take us to Parks and Wildlife and just have some picnic there. But usually we only have plantains. It's his favorite. He just boiled plantains and then we have it in the car and we're like, are we going to eat anywhere? And he will say, here's plantain. Okay. Maghapunan at manood ng pelikula. Maghapunan at manood ng pelikula. To have dinner and see a movie. Maghapunan at manood ng pelikula. To have dinner and see a movie. Magandang ideya ba ng date ang maghapunan at manood ng pelikula? Magandang ideya ba ng date ang maghapunan at manood ng pelikula? Is having dinner and seeing a movie a good idea for a date? This is a usual idea for a date, right? This is like what most people would do for a date. Now, I think if you're in a relationship for a long time, but if you're just starting, then you go first to a dinner and then you go to movies, right? Go to the movies because then again it's dark and then everyone is like much more beautiful people in dark places. Okay, so this is a very common idea for a first date. I think it's very good idea, very safe. If you don't want anything like adventurous, anything that will like surprise your date so much and make him scared, right? Go for it. Sumakay ng ferry. Sumakay ng ferry. To take a ferry ride. Sumakay ng ferry. To take a ferry ride. Sumakay ng ferry si Jerry at Cherry para ipagdiwang ang kanilang ika-4 na taong anibersaryo. Sumakay ng ferry si Jerry at Cherry para ipagdiwang ang kanilang ika-4 na taong anibersaryo. Jerry and Cherry took a ferry ride to celebrate their 4-year anniversary. I think Jerry and Cherry are meant to be together.
And they're meant to
be in a ferry. Yeah, so if your name is Jerry and Cherry, then it's time to take a ferry, right? I think it's also a very romantic thing to do. Get on a ferry and then have like a cruise. I think there is like a ferry going to this small island near Manila. Maglakad sa beach. Maglakad sa beach. To walk on the beach. Maglakad sa beach. Or to walk on the beach. Nakita ko si Nino at Ninya na naglalakad sa beach habang magkahawak ng kamay. Nakita ko si Nino at Ninya na naglalakad sa beach habang magkahawak ang kamay. I saw Nino and Ninya walking on the beach while holding hands.
Aren't they like siblings?
No, I think they're just meant to be together. So again, if your name is Nino and Ninya and you're not siblings, you're meant to be together. Let's just make it clear, right? Yeah. And then you can walk along the beach, right? Holding hands. But this is also but if you are in the beach, right? With your, on the beach, with your girlfriend or boyfriend or any other loved one, it's time to hold their hands. And be romantic. Okay, so we've reached the end of the lesson and hope you learned something new. So what are your ideas? What are your ideas for a romantic date? So tell us in the comment section. And don't forget to like, subscribe to our channel, and visit filipinopod101.com to learn more Filipino. Hanggang sa muli!
You are at a bus terminal where you're attempting to buy a ticket from a ticket counter. There are 4 different counters. Which counter should you line up at to go to the south side of the city? Which counter should you line up at to go to the south side of the city? The third counter is the counter for bus tickets that go to the south side of the city.
Para sa timog na bahagi ng syudad.
Now that you're finished with this lesson, don't forget, as a free bonus, you get over 30 conversation cheat sheets, but only if you sign up via the link in the description. You'll learn how to have flowing conversations and how to answer the most common questions. You can also print out these colorful cheat sheets to keep as physical study material. So don't miss out on this free gift. Click the link in the description and sign up for a free lifetime account to get your PDF cheat sheets.
Hello sa inyong lahat, ako si Erica. Pag-uusapan natin ngayon ang isa sa mga piyesta sa Pilipinas na kilala bilang Piyesta ng Mga Ngiti, ang Mascara Festival. Ito ay pinagdiriwang sa Bacolod, Negros Occidental, tuwing ikatlong linggo ng Oktubre, sa araw na pinakamalapit sa ika-19 ng Oktubre. Sa lesson na ito, aalamin natin kung paano ipinagdiriwang ang Mascara Festival. Alam niyo ba kung saan nagmula ang pangalan ng Mascara Festival? Sasabihin namin ang sagot sa katapusan ng video na ito. Unang idinaos ang Mascara Festival noong taong 1980 para pagaanin ang loob at pasayahin ng mga Negrense matapos ang magkasunod na krisis na kanilang naranasan noong taong iyon. ang pagbaba ng pandaigdig na presyo ng tubo na pangunahing pang-agrikultural na produkto ng rehiyon, at ang paglubog ng barkong MV Don Juan na nagresulta sa pagkamatay ng halos 700 Negrense ay nagdulot ng matinding kalungkutan sa mga tao. Kaya naman idinaos ang Mascara Festival bilang simbolo ng katatagan ng Bacolod City. Ang pangunahing mapapansin sa piyestang ito ay ang mga maskara. Patuloy na nagbabago ang mga disenyo ng mga maskara mula sa mga katutubong disenyo ng mga Pilipino hanggang sa mga disenyong hango sa Rio Carnival at Carnival of Venice. Pinakatampok na aktibidad sa Mascara Festival ang street dancing, kung saan iba't ibang grupo ng mga mananayaw mula sa iba't ibang barangay ang nagtatagisan. At syempre, hindi lamang iyan ang mga kaganapan tuwing Mascara Festival. Mayroon ring iba't ibang aktibidades para sa lahat, tulad ng Mascara Queen Beauty Pageant, mga karnabal, drum and bugle competition, mga food festival, mga musical concert, mga agricultural na trade fair at mga garden show. Talagang napakaraming nagaganap tuwing Mascara Festival, kaya siguradong dinadayo ito ng parehong mga lokal at panyagang turista. Ang Bacolod City ang tinaguriang City of Smiles ng Pilipinas. Noong taong 2008, nanguna ito bilang pinakamainam na lugar na tirahan sa Pilipinas ng Money Sense magazine. At idineklara ito ng Department of Science and Technology bilang Center of Excellence ng Information Technology. At ngayon, ibibigay ko na ang sagot sa tanong kanina. Alam niyo ba kung saan nagmula ang pangalan ng Mascara Festival? Ang maskara ay hango sa mga salitang Ingles na mass, na ibig sabihin ay masa o maraming tao, at mula sa salitang Espanyol na cara, na ang ibig sabihin ay mukha, na kung pagsasamahin ay nangangahulugan ng napakaraming mukha. Ito rin ay isang paglalaro sa salitang Tagalog na maskara dahil sa ang mga dumadalo sa kasiyahan ay nagsusuot ng mga maskara. Kamusta ang lesson na ito? May interesanteng bagay ba kayong natutunan? Nakadalo na ba kayo sa isang katulad na pagdiriwang? Mag-iwan kayo ng komento sa filipinopod101.com. Hanggang sa susunod na lesson! Hello sa inyong lahat, ako si Erica. Ang Sinulog Festival ay isang linggong pagdiriwang sa probinsya ng Cebu. Ang pinakaabangang bahagi ng pagdiriwang na ito ay ang parada na nagaganap sa ikatlong linggo ng Enero. Ang pistang ito ay kilala bilang isa sa pinakamalaking pista at kasiyahan sa buong bansa. Sa paradang ito, lahat ng tao ay sumasayaw kasabay ang kumpas ng tambol bilang pagbibigay galang sa Santo Niño. Alamin natin ang mga kaganapan sa pistang ito. Alam niyo ba kung bakit sinulog ang pangalan ng pistang ito? Sasabihin namin ang sagot sa katapusan ng video na ito. Sinasabing nagsimula ang pagdiriwang ng pista ng sinulog nang ibigay bilang regalo ni Magellan ang imahen ng Batang Jesus kay Reyna Juana ng Cebu nang siya ibinyagan bilang Kristiyano. Ang imahen ng Batang Jesus ay tinawag na Santo Niño. Hindi nagpatuloy ang kristyanisasyon ng buong probinsya dahil sa namatay si Magellan nang makalaban niya ang datu ng Mactan na si Lapu-Lapu. Matapos ang 44 na taon, natagpuan ng isa sa mga sundalo ni Miguel Lopez de Legazpi ang imahe ng Santo Niño sa loob ng isang kahon sa loob ng isa sa mga nasusunog na kubo. Ang sinulog ay tumatagal ng 9 na araw. Dahil sa ang araw na ito ay iniaalay bilang araw ng pasasalamat sa Santo Niño, sinisimula ng selebrasyon sa pamamagitan ng pagkakaroon ng mga misa mula alas 4 ng umaga. Una rito ay ang Mañanita Mass, susundan ng Pontifical Mass, at ang huli ay ang Holy Mass. Bago ang pinakaabangan na parada, magkakaroon ng prosesyon sa ilog, kung saan ang imahe ng Santo Niño ay isinasakay sa isang bangkang pinalamutian ng mga kandila at bulaklak at ipinapaanod ito mula Mandaue City hanggang Cebu City. Ang pinakahihintay ng lahat ay ang Grand Street Parade na tumatagal ng 9 hanggang 12 oras. Ang mga kalahok na nagmumula pa sa iba't ibang bayan ay nagsusuot ng mga makukulay at magagarbong kasuotan at sumasayaw sa saliw ng iba't ibang instrumento. Tuwing ipinagdiriwang ang sinulog, sinisigaw ng mga tao ang Viva Pit Señor. Ang pagbating Pit Señor ay pinaiksing Panangpit sa Señor na isang tawag sa Panginoon, sa Señor Santo Niño, kung para kanino ipinagdiriwang ang sinulog. Ang sayaw na binubuo ng 2 hakbang paharap at 1 hakbang palikod ay unang sinayaw raw bilang pasasalamat sa mga anito. Sinasabing ang sayaw ng sinulog ay ginagawa na ng mga taga Cebu bago pa man dumating ang mga Espanyol sa Pilipinas 400 taon na ang nakakaraan. At ngayon, ibibigay ko na ang sagot sa tanong kanina. Alam niyo ba kung bakit sinulog ang pangalan ng pistang ito? Ang salitang sinulog ay nagmula sa salitang Bisaya na sulog. Ang ibig sabihin ng salitang ito ay parang agos ng tubig, na maihahalin tulad sa daloy ng galaw sa sayaw ng sinulog. Kamusta ang lesson na ito? May interesanteng bagay ba kayong natutunan? Anong pista sa inyong bansa ang kagaya ng sinulog? Mag-iwan kayo ng komento sa filipinopod101.com. Hanggang sa susunod na lesson!
You are sitting on a bus that is about to arrive at the next bus stop. Suddenly, a signal lights up. What does the signal mean? What does the signal mean? The signal reads, "Please stay seated until the bus stops."
Manatiling nakaupo hanggang sa huminto ang bus.
Hi everyone! Do you know the 1,000 most useful phrases in Filipino? In this lesson, you'll be able to know all of them, so sit back, relax, and have a cup of tea as you listen and learn.
Saan ba ang banyo?
Mawalang galang lang po.
Galing.
May reservation ako. Magkano to?
Ano ito?
Salamat!
Talaga? Pwede niyo ba akong bigyan ng discount? Libre ba ang wifi?
Pwede ka naman kunyang, B? Meron ba kayong marirecommend? Pwede ko bang isukat ito?
You just learned the 1,000 most useful phrases in Filipino. And, if you're interested in learning more, try learning the core 2,000 word list. With this, you'll understand 95% of the language, and best of all, this is not a joke. Check out the description below and go to filipinopod101.com now. See you next time.
Hi everyone! Kamusta? My name is Erica, and welcome to Filipino Top Words. So our topic for today is 10 things to do in the summer in the Philippines. First word is magbiyahe sa ibang bansa. To travel abroad. The first word is magbiyahe sa ibang bansa, which means to travel abroad. Magbabiyahe ako sa ibang bansa pag may nakita akong murang plane ticket. I'll travel abroad when I find a cheap plane ticket. So my favorite place actually is El Nido. It's really, what do you call this? Like, it's very calm. The water is not cold, it's not warm, it's just perfect. So you will enjoy it. So start booking now. Mag-relax sa beach. To relax at the beach. Next we have mag-relax sa beach, which means to relax at the beach. Abril ang buwan na pinakamainam na mag-relax sa beach. April is the best month to relax on the beach. So actually for this month, it is now something like 30 to 40 degrees, and April and March are considered the hottest months in the country. Mag-aral ng Filipino gamit ang filipinopod101.com. To learn Filipino with filipinopod101.com. Mag-aral ng Filipino gamit ang filipinopod101.com, which means to learn Filipino with FilipinoPod101.com. So for example, if you really are very eager to learn Filipino this summer, you can say, subukan mong mag-aral ng Filipino gamit ang FilipinoPod101.com at kasama ang mga kaibigan mong Pilipino. Try learning Filipino using FilipinoPod101.com with your Filipino friends. Matutong magluto ng pagkaing Pilipino. To learn to cook Filipino food. Matutong magluto ng pagkaing Pilipino. To learn to cook Filipino food. So if you want to use it in a sentence, in Filipino, you can say, kung gusto mong matutong magluto ng pagkaing Pilipino, magsimula ka sa adobo. In English, you can say, if you want to learn to cook Filipino food, start with adobo. Because it's the easiest thing to cook. Mag-ihaw. To have a barbecue. Next word is mag-ihaw, which means to have a barbecue. Pinakamainam ang mag-ihaw ng manok sa beach. It is best to have a chicken barbecue on the beach. You can actually barbecue other stuff, like from chicken, pork, to innards. We even have a coagulated blood. Mag-party, magdamag. To party all night. Next word is mag-party, magdamag. To party all night. Huwag kang masyadong maglasing kung gusto mong mag-party, magdamag. Don't get drunk if you want to party all night. In the summer, it's best to party all night. And actually, in many, say, Boracay, if you go to Boracay, there are lots of parties all night with bonfire, lots of music, drinking. So, if you want to experience all of these, book a cheap ticket now and come to the Philippines. Mag-hiking. To go hiking. Mag-hiking. In English, to go hiking. For example, we can say, kung gusto mong mag-hiking, siguraduhin mo muna na kaya ng katawan mo. If you want to go hiking, make sure your body can handle it. So now it's very, what they call this, like a thing for young people to climb Mount Pulag, which is the third highest peak in the country. According to Google, it's in Nueva Vizcaya, which is in a bit north of Manila. Magsaya kasama ang mga kaibigan. To have fun with friends. Magsaya kasama ang mga kaibigan. In English, to have fun with friends. Mas mainam pang magsaya kasama ang mga kaibigan kaysa mag-party, magdamag. It's better to have fun with friends than to party all night. So much not funnier. But you can do anything that you want since it's summer. No one will judge you, it's summer. Dumalo ng summer school. To attend summer school. Next word is dumalo ng summer school. To attend summer school. So in Filipino, you can use it in a sentence like, kaysa sa maglaro ka lang ng computer sa bahay, mas mabuti pang dumalo ka na lang sa summer school. Instead of just playing computer games at home, it's better if you attend a summer school. Manatili sa bahay at mag-internet. To stay inside and browse the internet. Manatili sa bahay at mag-internet. To stay inside and browse the internet. For example, you can say in Filipino, pag tinatamad akong lumabas, nananatili lang ako sa bahay at nag-i-internet. When I'm too lazy to go out, I just stay at home and browse the internet. You put on nice clothes and then the moment you step out of the door, you just melt. So I kind of understand like how some people would want to just stay indoors during summer. And so what you can do is to browse the internet. Wow. And that was it. Thank you very much for watching this video. This has been 10 things to do in the summer in the Philippines. What will you be doing this summer? Where are you going? So if you have any other plans, if you have any plans to do anything that you want to do this summer, don't forget to comment them below and don't forget to subscribe. Salamat! Tara, biyahe tayo! Na. Hello sa inyong lahat! Ako si Erica. Ang Ati-Atian Festival ay pinagdiriwang tuwing ikatlong linggo ng Enero. Ito ay ginaganap sa Kalibo sa probinsya ng Aklan. Sa pagdiriwang na ito, inaalala at binibigyang papuri ang Santo Niño. Sinasabing ang mga pista ng Sinulog ng Cebu at Dinagyang ng Iloilo ay hango sa pagdiriwang na ito. Sinasabing ito ang pinagmulan ng maraming mga kapistahang Pilipino. Sa lesson na ito, malalaman natin kung paano ipinagdiriwang ang Ati-Atihan Festival. Alam niyo ba kung ano ang ibig sabihin ng salitang ati-atihan? Sasabihin namin ang sagot sa katapusan ng video na ito. Sinasabing nagsimula ang pagdiriwang nang dumating sa isla ng Panay ang 10 datong tumakas mula sa Borneo kasama ang kanilang mga pamilya, alipin at mandirigma sa Kayang Balangay. Kapalit ang isang ginintoang salakot at iba pang mga yaman, binili nila ang lupa mula sa mga katutubong nakatira doon. Matapos ang palitan, nagkaroon ng kasiyahan at pagdiriwang. Nang masakop at naging katolikong bansa ang Pilipinas, binigyan ng Kristiyanong kahulugan ang pagdiriwang. Sinasagawa ang pagdiriwang sa loob ng 1 linggo. Nag-uumpisa ang pagdiriwang sa isang misa. Nagbubukas sa mga pagdiriwang sa 2 araw sa isang prosesyon habang dinadasal ang rosaryo at natatapos ito sa isang misa. Sa gitna ng linggo, nagkakaroon ng masiglang parada kung saan ang 17 bayan ng Aklan ay nagpapakitang gilas ng kanilang katangi-tanging kultura, sayaw at galing. Pero hindi lamang kultural ang mga pagdiriwang sa ati-atihan. Dito, mayroon ring mga pagtatanghal ng mga lokal na banda at mga artista gabi-gabi para rin makilala ang popular na kultura ng Pilipinas. Karaniwang sinisigaw ang halabira habang pinagdiriwang ang Ati-Atihan Festival. Sa huling araw ng pagdiriwang, makikita ang pinakaabangang sayawan at parada ng mga nakapintang mga mananayaw, suot ang kanilang mga magarbong costume, at sumasayaw kasabay ang kumpas ng mga tambol. Pati ang mga manonood ay inaanyayahang sumali sa sayawan. Natatapos ang pagdiriwang sa isang prosesyon kung saan nagdadala ang mga gustong lumahok ng mga kandila at ng mga iba't ibang imahe ng Santo Niño. Sa bawat kalye na puno ng tagapanood, isang ekspresyon ang madalas na sinisigaw ng lahat. Halabira. Ito'y salitang Aklano na ang ibig sabihin ay ibuhos ang lahat o ibigay ang lahat. Kaya sa pag-aaral rin ng Filipino, tara, halabira. At ngayon, ibibigay ko na ang sagot sa tanong kanina. Alam niyo ba kung ano ang ibig sabihin ng salitang ati-atihan? Ang ibig sabihin ng ati-atihan ay magkunwari na parang aita. Ayon sa mga salaysay, pagdating ng mga datong tumakas mula sa Borneo, tinanggap sila ng mga aita. Bilang pasasalamat, sila'y naghanda ng pista kung saan nakapinta parang aita ang kanilang mga muka. Kamusta ang lesson na ito? May interesanteng bagay ba kayong natutunan? Nasubukan niyo na bang sumali sa isang pistang gaya ng Ati-Atihan Festival? Mag-iwan kayo ng komento sa filipinopod101.com. Hanggang sa susunod na lesson!
Trying to learn Filipino? You need a filipinopod101.com free lifetime account. It's one of the most powerful language learning tools you can command, and signing up takes less than 7 seconds. So what exactly do you get that makes it so special? First, new lessons are published every week, and you get them for free. Enjoy learning with fun and effective audio and video lessons with real teachers. Make the most of your study time as our teachers help you hack Filipino and get you speaking in minutes. Second, free instant access to the first 3 lessons of every lesson series. Explore and try any lesson series that interests you, from beginner to advanced. Find teachers you love and lessons for your goals. Third, learn Filipino anywhere, anytime with the free companion app. Download it now for free for the iPhone, iPad, or any Android device, and have instant access to your free lifetime account and lessons anywhere, anytime. Fourth, boost your vocabulary with the free word of the day. Every day, receive 1 new word in your inbox that you can master in seconds. Want even more words? 5. Get complete access to our word and phrase lists. Wow native Filipino speakers with cool, topical, and seasonal words and phrases from our lists. And finally, number 6, the best for last. 7 days of unlimited access to our entire library of audio and video lessons. Premium study tools like line-by-line audio, word bank, and smart flashcards to help you learn lightning fast. Get your free lifetime account right now at filipinopod101.com. Sign up in less than 7 seconds. And the account is yours for free for life. So what are you waiting for? Get yours now.
Hello guys and welcome to Filipino Top Words. I'm Erica.
And I'm Ice.
And for today, we will learn about the 10 reasons to learn Filipino.
Filipino!
Ano ba yun? Ako muna, ikaw. Ikaw muna.
So why should you learn Filipino?
Why?
Because...
Number 1 reason is because ito ay isang magandang wika. It's a beautiful language. Ito ay isang magandang wika. Or, in English, it's a beautiful language. Is it?
Is it?
Formal Filipino is very beautiful language. It's a very romantic language. Right? If you read, say, novels written in Filipino.
Like the old ones?
Yes.
Like Florante at Laura?
Yeah, Florante at Laura, which is, what's Florante? It's like our own version of Romeo and Juliet, right?
Yeah. But like with monsters?
Yeah. It's a bit fantasy.
Yeah.
Like
Maybe it's our own version of Game of Thrones.
Yeah, it's our Game of Thrones. Laro ng trono. Next reason is
para makipag-usap sa mga kaibigang Pilipino. To chat with Filipino friends. Para makipag-usap sa mga kaibigang Filipino, which is to chat with Filipino friends. If you want to really be close to your Filipino friends, it's really better if you know how to speak the language. And yeah, we all could understand English, but
yeah,
it's more fun in Filipino.
There are jokes that you can only say in Filipino, that they're only funny in Filipino, right?
For example, si Dan ay nag-aaral ng Filipino para makipag-usap sa mga kaibigang Pilipino. Dan is studying Filipino to chat with Filipino friends.
Good for you, Dan.
Mahusay, Dan.
Good, Dan. Next reason is para makapagsalin. To do translations. Para makapagsalin. Or to do translations. Nagsisikap ako mag-aral ng Filipino para makapagsalin. I am doing my best to study Filipino to be able to do translations. Do you need to do translations in Filipino?
I guess it's still better to translate if like there are some things that not all Filipinos would know if it's in English, so
yeah,
I think there is still some jobs that involve like translating to Filipino. Or actually maybe it's the other way around, like you translate the Filipino works into English.
Yeah,
which is I guess you're doing that. Para makanood ng pelikula na walang subtitle. To watch movies without subtitles. Para makanood ng pelikula na walang subtitle. To watch movies without subtitles. Yeah, like, there are a lot of Filipino films, and, like, I guess they would not be, like, in pure Filipino, but, like, you know, Tagalog English. Because that's usually how people talk in real life.
Yeah.
It's a great reason to learn.
Especially,
Filipino.
I think, now that our indie movie industry is booming.
Exactly.
So there's those kinds of movies that deal with concepts that are kind of hard to translate in English. So it's best if you, like, have those subtitles so you can be guided, right?
It's best if you don't need the subtitles.
Yeah, actually. So you already understand everything.
Yeah. For example, 3 taong tuloy-tuloy nag-aral ng Filipino si Mary bago siya nakanood ng pelikulang walang subtitle. Mary studied Filipino for 3 straight years before she was able to watch movies without subtitles. Wow, 3 years? Do you think they could do 3 years? It's easier to understand movies because you see the reaction, like, you know, non-verbal communication is still very important.
So you put it into context, right?
Yeah.
The words being said. So actually, that's easier if you watch it in movies than just like reading books. Next reason is para manirahan sa Pilipinas. To live in the Philippines. Para manirahan sa Pilipinas. To live in the Philippines.
Because
It's more fun in the Philippines. It's also more traffic. It's also hotter.
depends on where you're coming from.
So, for example, si Yutaro, that's in Filipino, right? Yutaro. You don't say Yutaro. Si Yutaro ay maninirahan sa Pilipinas kaya siya nag-aaral ng Filipino. Yutaro will live in the Philippines. That's why he's studying Filipino. Para maintindihan ang lyrics. To understand song lyrics. Para maintindihan ang lyrics. To understand song lyrics. For example, hindi ko inakalang malalim pala ang ibig sabihin ng kantang ito hanggang sa naintindihan ko ang lyrics. I didn't know that the meaning of this song was deep until I understood the song lyrics. This very, very interesting reason. What we call like OPM, or original Filipino music, is a very big industry. And we like singing a lot. So we always have lots of deep, romantic songs, right? Really deep love songs that you would only appreciate it if you know the lyrics.
Just not just love songs, but
Yeah. Even like
maybe
jingle.
90%.
Yeah. Or maybe 90% is romantic songs. I don't know why. People are just like, they were hurt, those people. Who hurt them?
I don't
Okay, next.
Para makagawa ng bagong mga kaibigan. To make new friends. Para makagawa ng bagong mga kaibigan. To make new friends. It will make them comfortable if they are speaking in their own language, and like that's the time that you could know more about a person if they're in their most comfortable state, I guess. So
Yeah, and
like,
they can only share like things about their lives, right, if they're speaking in their own language. Because sometimes, for instance, you don't really speak English a lot, and then you have to tell someone about your life. Then you'd be like, no, English is very hard. I'm just not going to say anything to you anymore, right?
and a lot of the words doesn't really translate to English, so it's not as fun telling it if you have to like explain what this word means. Especially like names you call your family, like ate, kuya.
Ate or big sister, right?
This because like you would never call your big sister like, oh, my big sister.
Yeah. Even for me, when I tell my foreign friends about my mom, I don't like. It's kind of weird because I just call her mama. She's not the mom. She's a mama. So it's like weird.
Mama's son. For example, palakaibigan ang mga Pilipino, kaya gusto kong matuto ng Filipino para makagawa ng bagong mga kaibigan. Filipinos are friendly, so I want to learn Filipino to make new friends. There are two kinds of Filipinos. One is the person and one is the language. And if you translate both to Filipino, they actually become two. Filipino is the person and Filipino with
Is
F
the language.
is the language.
Yeah.
So you have to be careful with that because they're both Filipinos in English, but they become Filipino and Filipino in Filipino.
In the same way that Philippines, it's not with an F, right? It's a PH. But if you make it into Filipino, you would say Pilipinas, which is with a P. That's why people living in the Philippines are called Filipino at Pilipina, right?
Yes. Yeah, that's a good point. Do not spell Filipino with a PH.
Yes.
It's F.
Yeah.
Para makapagnegosyo sa mga kumpanya sa Pilipinas. To do business with Filipino companies. Para makapagnegosyo sa mga kumpanya sa Pilipinas. To do business with Filipino companies. Balak palawakin ng boss ang kumpanya sa Pilipinas, kaya mag-aaral ako ng Filipino para makapagnegosyo. My boss plans to expand the company in the Philippines. That's why I will study Filipino in order to do business. I guess this is one major reason for people to learn languages is for business. It's the same thing like we've been saying. If you don't get the inside jokes, then you also don't get the inside deals.
Like making friends is one thing. Doing business is another. Because doing business actually involves money. So for you not to lose any money in this business, then
you better do your research.
Yeah. And study your language. Para makapasok sa graduate school sa Pilipinas. To go to a graduate school in the Philippines. Para makapasok sa graduate school sa Pilipinas. To go to a graduate school in the Philippines. Para makapasok sa Universidad ng Pilipinas, nagsisikap si Jane mag-aral ng Filipino. In order to enter the University of the Philippines, Jane is studying Filipino very hard. Yeah, this is very important, but I think it's more important in socializing, right? And in feeling embedded in where you are. But it's not really important, I think, in attending classes in the university, because in where we went to, in the University of the Philippines, the classes are in language. The classes, obviously, they're in language. The classes are in English, right?
Yeah.
And so you can go to, well, of course, your classmates and your teachers will speak Filipino, but everything is in English. Your textbook, your reading materials.
I guess there are some subjects which are in
in Filipino, of course, like humanidades.
Yeah. But like sometimes your teacher would still accommodate you and speak English most of the time if need be. But yeah, it's still important to learn Filipino if you want to like not be an outcast.
Yeah, so if you want, because that's very important in university life, right? For you to enjoy university life. So now that I'm in University of Tokyo, I'm so happy because I don't speak Japanese so much and I don't have friends. Okay, next.
Okay, next. Para magkaroon ng Pilipinong kasintahan, to have a Filipino lover, you definitely want to learn Filipino if you want to have a Filipino lover, or in Filipino, para magkaroon ng Pilipinong kasintahan. For example, nagsisikap si Rudy mag-aral ng Filipino para magkaroon siya ng Pilipinong kasintahan.
Go, Rudy.
Go. I support you. Rudy is trying hard to learn Filipino so that he could have a Filipino lover. Yeah, I guess...
Go, Rudy. Go, Rudy. Go, Rudy.
Oh my God.
It's going to help you actually because they would think you are cute, right?
Yeah.
That they would think you're trying. It's not so much that you really need to be fluent in the Filipino, but the idea is that you are trying, and that speaks a lot about you.
Yeah, definitely.
And the most important thing is when you start fighting, they will definitely turn back to their language, right? Because they're really mad. So if you're really mad, then you will start speaking your own language. So for you to understand what they're babbling about, better learn the language. That's enough reason.
Yeah. Okay, that's it. Thank you for tuning with us today. Thank you for watching this lesson in Filipino. Oh my God.
Filipino top words. What is your reason for studying Filipino?
Yeah, please tell us in the comments. And if there are things here that you want to be clarified, I don't know.
Yeah, don't hesitate to put them down below. And like and subscribe to our channel.
If you need tips to have a Filipino lover,
write them down.
Right? Yeah.
Ice will help you.
No. And if
visit filipinopod101.com for more Filipino lessons.
Yeah.
Thank you.
For more Erica, more Ice.
Hanggang sa muli.
Hanggang sa muli.
Paalam. Hi everyone! Welcome to Filipino Top Words. I'm Erica, and today we are going to learn 10 phrases for surviving back to school. Let's look at our first word, and it is backpack. In Filipino, you say backpack, right? So if you want to say backpack, you say backpack. It's a less it's like a less a. Because of the K, actually. It kind of sounds a bit rolled, right? So, backpack. So, if you want to say backpack, you say backpack. So, you want to ask your friend, which is easier to carry, a backpack or a shoulder bag? Then, you say in Filipino, ano ang mas madaling buhatin, backpack o shoulder bag? So, the next word is kaklase, or in English, classmate. So, for example, you have a very beautiful classmate in your school. So, in Filipino, you would say, sikat ang maganda kong kaklase sa buong paaralan. My beautiful classmate is popular in the school. Of course, where would she be popular? She's your classmate, right? If you say, my beautiful friend is popular in the school, okay, yeah, but my beautiful classmate is popular in the school. Kaklase is like a general, I guess it's just a term for classmate, right? We don't use it for any other thing, just classmate. Okay, so the next word is takdang aralin or homework. In Filipino, you would say, nakikita ko ang halaga ng hindi pagkopya ng takdang aralin. I can see the value of not cheating on my homework. Good for you. Okay, next word is pagsusulit. This is very important, so remember this. It might come up in your exam. Nice. Because pagsusulit means exam. So for example, you want to be really sarcastic to someone who got a high grade in their exam. So you will tell them, ang mataas na grado sa pagsusulit ay hindi nangangahulugan na matalino ka. Or in English, a high grade in the examination doesn't mean you are intelligent. Hello, Supe. I have a friend, we're really friends, but in high school, he was the valedictorian. And I don't really study in high school, but he was the valedictorian. And then now we are always telling him, you only became valedictorian because you are good at memorization. And what's nice about him is that he admits it. That's why we're still friends. The next word is summer vacation. In English, it is summer break. Actually, it's also in English, summer vacation. But when we say summer break in Filipino, we don't use the term summer break, but we use summer vacation more, right? In Filipino, you would say, masaya ang summer vacation. Summer break is fun. Actually, in the Philippines, all year round it's summer. But it's not all year round, it's vacation, no. It's just summer. And usually we have summer vacation from end of March, beginning of April, in time with the Holy Week, right? And that's actually the period when we have the hottest temperature. Sometimes around 40, right? 38, 40. Yeah, so it can get really hot. But because we have lots of beaches, there's always some place where you can go. And it's pretty cheap everywhere you go. And so summer break is fun. The next word is paaralan or school. Probably, like many people, you have high hopes for yourself. So you want to say that you want to enter into a good school. So what you say in Filipino is, gusto kong makapasok sa magandang paaralan. I want to enter into a good school. Next word is pag-aaral or to study. Ang pag-aaral ay isang pribilehiyo. In English, studying is a privilege. Whether you think of it as a privilege or as a right or as a responsibility, it's actually up to you. But hopefully you are studying hard. The next set of words are actually phrases/sentences that you will use when you go to school. Actually, you can use it also for different things. You just change some words in it. So the first sentence is, ito ang unang araw ng klase. Or, it's the first day of class. So you can also use it if you're working. You can say, ito ang unang araw ko sa trabaho. Or you can also use it for many things. Like you have a boyfriend or girlfriend. This is our first day together. So you can say, it's our first day together. Ito ang unang araw namin. So next sentence is, pareho tayo ng klase. Which in English is, we are in the same class. This is very useful actually if you're very enthusiastic to see your friend that you haven't seen since summer vacation. The next sentence is, anong mga klase ang kukunin mo? What classes are you taking? This, again, I think this is more applicable for college students, right? Because in the Philippines, especially, it depends on the university. But for example, the university where I went to, UP, right? Go UP. And I'm teaching English. So usually, if you want to be in the same class with your friend, then you ask, what classes are you taking? That was it for today's lesson. Hope you learned something new. That was top 10 phrases for surviving back to school. And I hope you can practice and use them with your friends, with your classmates, with your kaklase, in your classroom, while you're wearing your backpack. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with us any thoughts that you might have. Bye-bye. Thank you. Hanggang sa susunod. Mali. Hanggang sa muli. Hello sa inyong lahat, ako si Erica. Pag-uusapan natin ang Panagbenga Festival na ipinagdiriwang buong buwan ng Pebrero. Ang Panagbenga ay isang flower festival na dinarao sa Baguio City, ang kinikilalang summer capital ng bansa. Sa lesson na ito, aalamin natin kung paano nga ba ipinagdiriwang ang Panagbenga Festival. Alam niyo ba kung ano ang ibig sabihin ng pangalan ng piyestang ito na Panagbenga? Sasabihin namin ang sagot sa katapusan ng video na ito. Unang isinagawa ang Panagbenga Festival noong taong 1995 bilang simbolo ng pagbangon ng syudad mula sa epekto ng 1990 Luzon earthquake. Ito rin ay ginanap bilang pagdiriwang sa pagsibol ng mga bulaklak ng rehiyon ng Cordillera. Napagdesisyonan na idaos ang Panagbenga tuwing Pebrero dahil walang masyadong kaganapan sa buwang ito, lalo na dahil sa ito ay nasa pagitan ng panahon ng Pasko at Kwaresma. Ang opening parade ay nagaganap sa ikaunang araw ng Pebrero. Matapos ito, iba't ibang kompetisyon na ang sinisimulan, gaya ng drum and lyre competition at street dancing competition sa pagitan ng mga estudyante sa elementarya. Sa buong buwan din ng Pebrero, nagkakaroon ng mga trade fair at bazaar na dinadaluhan ng napakaraming tao. Isa pa sa pinakakilalang lugar sa Baguio ay ang Session Road. Sa ika-4 na Lunes ng Pebrero, idinaraos ang Session Road in Bloom kung saan isinasarado ang buong kalye para sa mga stalls at mga cafe. Nariyan rin ang mga marching band na tumutugtog para sa parada ng mga float na gawa sa mga bulaklak. Alam niyo ba na noong unang idinaos ang Panagbenga, ipinagdiwang lamang ito sa loob ng 10 araw? Dahil na rin sa mabilis na pagtaas ng popularidad ng kasiyahan, hinabaan ito at ginawang 3 linggo, hanggang sa napagdesisyonan na ipagdiwang ito ng buong buwan ng Pebrero. At ngayon, ibibigay ko na ang sagot sa tanong kanina. Alam niyo ba kung ano ang ibig sabihin ng pangalan ng piyestang ito na Panagbenga? Ang Panagbenga ay isang kankanain na salita na ginagamit ng mga tribong nagmula sa bulubundukin ng Cordillera, Igorot at Sagada. Ang salitang ito ay may Malayo Polynesian na pinagmulan at ito ay nangangahulugan ng panahon ng pagsibol. Kamusta ang lesson na ito? May interesanteng bagay ba kayong natutunan? May kahalintulad din ba kayong pagdiriwang? Mag-iwan kayo ng komento sa filipinopod101.com. Hanggang sa muli!
Hi guys, welcome to Filipino Top Words. I'm Ice and today's topic is 10 phrases you always want to hear. Ang ganda mo ngayon. You look great today. Okay, the first phrase is ang ganda mo ngayon. You look great today. This is kind of a double-edged sword because if you say you look great today, did they look not great yesterday? But still, it's nice to hear, I guess. Ganda mo ngayon. Makeup ka. Miss na kita. I miss you. Next phrase is, miss na kita. I miss you. If you're away and they say I miss you, then that's fine, I guess, because like, you're not together. But if someone says you and you've been hanging out like every day, that means something else. Like, you're there but not there kind of thing. So, see for yourself. So, if you want to say that I really miss you, then you just say, miss na kita. May bonus sa katapusan ng buwan. There'll be a bonus at the end of the month. Okay, the next phrase that you always want to hear is, may bonus sa katapusan ng buwan. There will be a bonus at the end of the month. Yeah, this one, you'd want to hear this. Especially if you're like, not good with the bills. Napakagaling mong magluto. You're an excellent cook. Napakagaling mong magluto. You're an excellent cook. If you know how to cook, unlike me, and you give your friends some of the things you cook, and they say this to you, then always want to hear that. Yeah. Magpahinga ka. Ako ang maglilinis ngayon. Take a break. I'll do the cleaning today. Magpahinga ka. Ako maglilinis ngayon. Take a break. I'll do the cleaning today. Oh, yeah. Because if you hear this, that would be very great as well. I need help with the cleaning. Tama ka. You were right. Okay, another thing you might want to hear is tama ka or you were right. Yeah, I guess you want to hear this when you're in an argument. Dinalhan kita ng isang special na bagay. I brought you something special. Next one is, dinalhan kita ng isang special na bagay. That means, I brought you something special. I want something special. Unlimited ang budget. The budget is unlimited. Next phrase you would want to hear is, unlimited ang budget. Or, the budget is unlimited. Definitely, if you want like bunch of equipment and they say to you, the budget is unlimited. Like, yeah! Ililibre kita. I'll treat you. Next one is, ililibre kita. Meaning, I'll treat you. Ah, so nice. Oh, many Filipinos love hearing this. So like, if you want to make Filipino friends, make sure to say this. Yeah. Ang bait mo. You're kind. Ang bait mo. Meaning, you're kind. Sometimes it's nice to know that like your kindness is being appreciated. So like if someone says this to you, then you'll feel happy, I guess. If you want to convey that they're very kind, just repeat the adjective. So it's gonna be, ang bait-bait mo. So that means you're very kind. Okay, and that's it for this topic. 10 phrases you always want to hear. And if you like this video, press the thumbs up button and subscribe to our channel somewhere. To learn more Filipino, please go to filipinopod101.com. And I'll see you next time. Salamat, thank you, paalam. Hi guys! Hi guys! Welcome to Filipino Toppers with me, Ice, and today's topic is 10 hardest words to pronounce. Okay, so just try and say these words, and I'm sure like your Filipino friends will be very impressed. Try practicing these words so you can pronounce it properly. Baba baba, going down. This first one is actually a sentence and it's just made of one syllable, which is ba. So it goes baba baba, it means going down. Baba means down, and bababa means going down, and the ba at the end is like our question marking particle. So baba baba. If you're going down and someone asks this to you, then you just reply with oo, meaning yes, or bababa. So bababa, bababa. It's like the longest conversation in Filipino using one syllable. Bulaklak, flower. Okay, next is bulaklak, meaning flower. For example, mabango ang bulaklak. The flower smells good. Dumadagundong, rumbling. Dumadagundong, meaning rumbling. Doesn't it sound like it's a rumbling noise? Like dumadagundong. It's like all the bass in that word. For example, dumadagundong na ang bagyo sa labas. The storm is already rumbling outside. Dumadagundong. 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 Di ka pani-paniwala. Unbelievable. Next is di ka pani-paniwala, meaning unbelievable. For example, di ka pani-paniwala ang sinapit ng pamilya niya. The plight of his family is unbelievable. Kagilagilalas. Astounding. Next is kagilagilalas, which means astounding. Hindi na ako nakakakita ng kagilagilalas na pangyayari. I no longer see any astounding events. Kinakailangan. Important. Next one is kinakailangan, meaning important. Kinakailangan laging maging tapat sa trabaho. We must always be honest at work. Kumukuti-kutitap, twinkling. Next one is kumukuti-kutitap, meaning twinkling. So I guess the hard part of this is like the vowels, because like it's mostly u, but there's like I and somewhere. Kutitap. I guess the only way to pronounce this is to remember all the syllables. Kutitap, twinkling. Ang between ay kutitap. The star is twinkling. How would you even sing like Twinkle Twinkle Little Star? Kutitap. Try to say it very fast, like kutitap.
Mamasa-masa, moist.
The next is mamasa-masa, meaning moist. You have to be careful of the accents here because masa means moist, but there's another word spelled the same called masa, which means the masses. So masa and masa. So just be careful to say it as masa. Mamasa-masa. For example, mamasa-masa pa ang damo. The grass is still moist.
Misterioso, mysterious.
Next one is misterioso, meaning mysterious. I don't know, it sounds like it's easy enough to pronounce, like just mysterious becomes misterios with an O at the end. Like Spanish people could do it. Misterioso. For example, siya ay isang misteriosong babae, meaning she is a mysterious woman.
Patalastas, commercial.
Next one is patalastas, meaning commercial. This one, I actually had a problem saying this when I was a kid, and I just remember it being very hard for me, but yeah, now it's fine. For example, laging maraming patalastas ang laban ni Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao's fights always have a lot of commercials. Cause yeah, those things like involve a lot of money. So they need a lot of commercials. Okay, and that's it for today. That was 10 hardest words to pronounce. Which do you think is the hardest one to pronounce for you? Like, just comment it down below. Do you have any word that you think is hard for me to pronounce? And I will accept your challenge. Or like, if you could think of any word that is hard to pronounce in Filipino, put it in the comment below. Maybe I'll try to say it for you in the next lessons. Anyway, that's it for today. Thank you for watching, and if you like this video, press the thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. And if you want to learn more Filipino, check out our site filipinopod101.com. See you again next time. Thank you, salamat, and paalam.
Hi everyone, I'm Gabriella. How are your Filipino listening skills? In this video, you'll have a chance to test them out with a quiz. First, you'll see an image and hear a question. Next comes a short dialogue. Listen carefully and see if you can answer correctly. We'll show you the answer at the end. Are you ready?
May isang babae na nagtatanong sa salesman sa isang tindahan ng libro. Anong libro ang gustong makita ng babae? Mawalang galang lang, gusto ko sanang makita yung libro sa istanteng iyon.
Anong librong gusto mo?
Yung tungkol sa mga kotse.
Sandali lang. Eto ba?
Oo, iyan nga.
Eto na.
Anong libro ang gustong makita ng babae? May isang babae na nagtatanong sa salesman sa isang tindahan ng libro. Anong libro ang gustong makita ng babae? Mawalang galang lang, gusto ko sanang makita yung libro sa istanteng iyon.
Anong librong gusto mo?
Yung tungkol sa mga kotse.
Sandali lang. Eto ba?
Oo, iyan nga.
Eto na.
Did you get it right? I hope you learned something from this quiz. Let us know if you have any questions. See you next time.
Hello guys and welcome to Filipino Top Words. I'm Erica and for today we will learn about gift ideas you must know in Filipino. Laptop. Laptop. The first gift idea is laptop or laptop. Hindi na masyadong uso ang laptop ngayon. Laptops are no longer trendy recently. If you give a laptop for a gift, you're very generous, right? I mean, they're very cheap laptops, but still you're very generous if you're that generous, let's give. Pabango. Perfume. Pabango. Or perfume. Hindi ko alam kung anong pabango ang mabango. I don't know which perfume is fragrant. Giving perfume is a common gift, right? Perfume. When I was in high school, we have a very close teacher, and then because every Christmas we have gift giving, and then this teacher picked one of my classmates that he doesn't really know, so he was asking us, "Oh, what should I give to this girl?" And then we're like, "We don't know, but we don't know actually." And then he said, "Oh, what about perfume?" And then my immediate reaction was like, "Oh no, she might be offended." I don't even know why I said that. At the end of the story, he didn't give her a perfume. Aklat, book. Aklat or book. Ang isa sa pinakamagandang regalong ibigay ay aklat. One of the best gifts to give is a book. And this I definitely agree with. So I like receiving books. Love letter. Love letter. Next gift idea is love letter. Or in English, love letter. May mga taong mas gustong makatanggap ng love letter kaysa sa mga material na regalo. There are people who prefer love letters more than any material gift. And I'm not one of those. Just joking. My boyfriend gave me a card. And I was like, what is this? Because usually you give a card with a gift, right? Like you have a gift and then you have a little card that says, "Oh, this is a gift for you." This is not the actual gift. But okay, some people just like it simple. That's why he gave me a bike. Camera. 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 Or camera. Kapag ba may magandang camera ka, gaganda rin ang mga kuha mo. Will your photos improve if you have a good camera? In English, it doesn't sound so sarcastic. In Filipino, it sounds really sarcastic. I don't know why. But, I mean, if you're giving camera as a gift, wow, very generous. Disposable point and shoot, 300 pesos, you can get one. But if you want to give an SLR, no, it's too much money. Sorry. I'm going to give you a love letter then. Smartphone. 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 In English, smartphone. Mabilis ang paglabas ng bagong modelo ng smartphone ngayon. These days, the turnaround of new smartphone models is fast. But again, if you're going to give smartphone as a gift, that means you're very generous. Game console. Game console. Next gift idea is game console or game console. High-tech na ngayon ang mga game console. Halos virtual reality na. Game consoles nowadays are high-tech. It's almost virtual reality. I think second-hand consoles are kind of cheap, so you can give them as gifts. Diccionario. Dictionary. Diccionario or dictionary. Mainam iregalo ang isang diksyonaryo sa nag-aaral ng wikang Filipino. A dictionary is an ideal gift for those who are studying the Filipino language. Or probably a subscription for a Filipino language course. That's a better idea. I have a Kindle because my apartment is kind of small. So I buy books before, but I realized that there's no space for books anymore. So I decided to buy a Kindle. Kindle is not so expensive. And then I get to read more books than before. And it saves me space and it doesn't make any mess in the house. Because sometimes you just leave books here and there, right? So I think an electronic dictionary is going to be a very useful gift, especially for someone who's studying the language. Or, as I've mentioned, a subscription. Trip sa Boracay. Boracay trip. Trip sa Boracay or Boracay trip. Mabibigla siya pag ililibre mo siya ng trip sa Boracay. He or she will be surprised if you will treat him or her to a Boracay trip. So, this is a very good gift idea. Or trip to other places like Baguio, closer, right? Batangas. Because we have nice places all around the country. Magarbong kainan. Fancy restaurant. Next gift idea is magarbong kainan or fancy restaurant. Maraming magarbong kainan sa Manila. There are a lot of fancy restaurants in Manila. Online, you can buy vouchers, right, for discounted tickets, discounted prices for meals in different fancy restaurants. So I remember my brother when he had his, I don't know how old he is, but when he treated us for his birthday, he bought some vouchers online for this very fancy restaurant. So we went there and then it was his treat. And he saved a lot of money. And then we ate a lot, actually. So you can buy those things online. There's so many places online, Philippine websites, right, that they sell those gift certificates and vouchers. So that's it for this lesson. Hope you learned something new. And what other gift ideas do you know and do you think your friends would like if you give them them? Give them them. If you have any other gift ideas, don't forget to comment them down below and like and subscribe our channel. And if you want to learn more Filipino words, head on to filipinopod101.com. Hanggang sa muli! Hello sa inyong lahat, ako si Erica. Ang araw ng mga ina ay ipinagdiriwang taon-taon tuwing ikalawang linggo ng Mayo. Sa araw na ito, ipinapakita ng mga tao ang kanilang pasasalamat sa lahat ng ginagawa ng kanilang mga ina para sa kanila. Sa lesson na ito, aalamin natin kung paano ipinapakita ng mga Pilipino ang kanilang pasasalamat sa kanilang mga ina. Bago ang taong 1980, kailan ipinagdiriwang ang araw ng mga ina sa Pilipinas? Sasabihin namin ang sagot sa katapusan ng video na ito. Ang Pilipinas sa kasalukuyan ay nasa ika-8 sa mundo at ika-1 sa Asia bilang bansang kung saan mayroong pinakapantay na pagtingin sa parehong lalaki at babae. Kaya hindi na rin nakakagulat na ang araw ng mga ina ay isang malaking selebrasyon. Itinuturing itong day off ng mga ina mula sa pagluluto, paglilinis, pag-aalaga ng mga anak at asawa, at pagtatrabaho. Madalas makikita ang mga anak na nagbibigay ng card sa kanilang mga ina, habang ang mga asawang lalaki naman ay abalang nagluluto ng mga pagkaing paborito ng kanilang mga may bahay. Nakaugalian na rin ng mga pamilyang Pilipino na lumabas sa araw na ito para pasayahin ang mga ina ng tahanan. Sa Pilipinas, tinatawag ang mga ina bilang ilaw ng tahanan, sapagkat sila ang tinuturing na nagbibigay liwanag sa buong tahanan sa pamamagitan ng pag-aalaga sa bawat miyembro ng pamilya. Minsan, kahit kapalit na ang kanilang sariling kaligayahan, mapangalagaan at maprotektahan lamang ang kanilang mga mahal sa buhay. Dahil sa karaniwang malalaki ang mga pamilyang Pilipino, madalas na ipinagdiriwang ang araw na ito kasama hindi lamang ang mga ina, kundi pati ang mga lola, tiya, mga pinsang babae, at kahit sinong babae sa pamilya na may anak. At ngayon, ibibigay ko na ang sagot sa tanong kanina. Bago ang taong 1980, kailan ipinagdiriwang ang araw ng mga ina sa Pilipinas? Bago ang taong 1980, ipinagdiriwang ang araw ng mga ina tuwing ika-8 ng Disyembre, kasabay ang Feast of the Immaculate Conception. Ngunit, iminungkahi na ilipat ito sa ika-2 linggo ng Mayo dahil ipinagdiriwang ito sa ibang parte ng mundo sa parehong petsa. Kamusta ang lesson na ito? May interesanteng bagay ba kayong natutunan? Paano nyo ipinapakita sa inyong mga ina ang inyong pasasalamat? Mag-iwan kayo ng komento sa filipinopod101.com. Hanggang sa susunod na lesson! Hi guys! And welcome to Filipino Top Words. I'm Erica, and for today we will be learning about Filipino foods. So, you probably know, or probably don't know, that there are many different and delicious Filipino foods. Adobo. Adobo. The first food that everyone should know about is adobo. In English, we also call it adobo. Adobo ang paborito kong pagkaing Pilipino. Adobo is my favorite Filipino dish. So actually, adobo is the first thing that I've ever learned to make. It's the easiest, so you just need soy sauce, vinegar, bay leaf, or laurel leaf, whatever you call them. Sometimes people call them bay leaf, sometimes laurel leaf. And peppercorns, right? And then just boil those things together with pork or chicken or pork and chicken. depending on what you want to eat. And then everything will be nice and soft. Chicharon. Chicharon. Next is chicharon. In English, chicharon. Ang chicharon ay gawa sa balat ng baboy. Chicharon is made from pig skin. So it's actually crackling pig skin. Yeah, it's very crunchy. But I saw some show where they made chicharon by putting it in the oven. And I put it in the oven, and then afterwards it came out really crackling. So that's how they made it. But I don't know if that's actually how you make it. I think the most popular brand of chicharon is Lapids. So if you want to try chicharon, try the Lapids chicharon. Just remember that's not very healthy. Try it, don't eat too much. You can also eat it with rice actually. Durian. Durian. Next food is, or fruit is durian. Or actually just durian. Masarap ang durian kahit na may amoy ito. Durian, or durian, is delicious, even if it doesn't smell good. Yeah, it actually doesn't smell good. But it tastes nice. To me, it just tastes like jackfruit. I don't know about you. If you want to try durian, you go to the southern part of the Philippines. That's where you can get them cheaper. Yeah, fresher, more potent smell. Go to Davao, get them there fresh, and it's really good. Halo-halo. 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 In English, halo-halo. Tuwing tag-araw, mabenta ang halo-halo. Every summer, halo-halo sells well. So halo-halo is made up of crushed ice with some sweet beans, with different fruits, and sometimes, what other stuff? Nata de coco, or like sweet coconut things. And also leche flan or caramel flan. That's actually how it is, like caramel flan. Or sometimes, what is it? Sweet yam. You know yam, right? Ube. And then sometimes, in some stores, they put ice cream on top of it. When I was young, my aunt actually sells halo-halo. So every summer, she makes halo-halo. And those are the best halo-halo. I don't really like halo-halo in other places. I only like her halo. But she didn't make them anymore because the way you make the crushed ice, it's very manual. Everything is manual. You have this small device, right? You know it, like, to do this with the ice. It's not like you buy crushed ice already. So you have this small, like this device. So for every what's this glass of halo-halo, it takes a lot of time for you to get crushed ice. So my friend here drew halo-halo. And this is it. So this is the crushed ice. And these are the stuff that you can put inside, like sweet beans, some fruits, and then this is the caramel flan or the pudding. And then sometimes they have ice cream here. And then you use the spoon to halo-halo or to mix everything. So that's it. Kare-kare. Kare-kare or peanut stew. Next food is kare-kare. In English, kare-kare. Or, if you really want to be fancy, peanut stew. Masarap magluto ng kare-kare si Joy. Joy cooks delicious peanut stew. If you've already noticed, we always like repeating words for the names of our food. Halo-halo and kare-kare. Before when I was young, I only get to eat kare-kare during fiesta. Because it's kind of an expensive food to make. Because traditionally, you would make kare-kare with, how do you call this part?
Tuwalya?
Yeah, tuwalya. How do you say it?
Innards?
Like,
intestine wall?
Something, I think, stomach walls, stomach lining, right? Originally, it's with stomach lining. So I think that's kind of hard to come by and a bit expensive because you make it with cow innards, right? But it's really good. And then now, people like to eat the fast food. So there's lots of mixes for kare-kare. And before, when you really want to make kare-kare, you have to grind the peanuts by hand, everything by hand, right? To make peanut paste. But now you can just buy mixes and stuff. But still, the original kare-kare is very good. Now you can make it with pork, with beef, with chicken.
Or just vegetarian.
Or you can just use vegetables if you want to be vegetarian. Because it actually has lots of vegetables. Because even though it's peanut sauce, It actually doesn't have, what they call this? It has taste, but it's not salty, it's not sweet, as if there's no taste at all. So there's taste, but there's no taste at all. It's kind of weird. So you eat it with shrimp paste, or in Filipino, bagoong. Oh, it's so delicious. Okay. But I cannot eat paraga. It's not fiesta yet.
Yeah.
Lechon. Roasted suckling pig. Next is lechon, or roasted suckling pig. Tuwing Pasko, hindi mawawala ang lechon sa pagkaing Pilipino. Every Christmas, roasted suckling pig is always present in Filipino dishes. Lechon is expensive, so you only get lechon. It's an entire pig that's roasted. So usually, you roast it for a long time because you want everything to be even, right? The way it's cooked. And then at the end, you will get this really, like crackling skin. Yeah, very, very crispy. And then you eat it with liver sauce. That's the best. You only get this usually every big festivals or in some families' Christmas. We don't do lechon for Christmas because in the city, you cannot really do actual lechon. But you can buy lechon. What happens is, you get lechon on Christmas, and then the next few days, you get lechon paksiw, which is the meat of the lechon cooked as a stew, right? With the liver sauce, and it's very good. That's my favorite, actually. I like lechon paksiw more than lechon. So this is lechon. I don't know if you can see. Aren't we going to insert pictures here? Here on this side, you will see lechon. Mangga. Mango. Mangga, or mango. Mura lang ang mangga sa Pilipinas. Mango is cheap in the Philippines, and we have the best mangoes. I have a Thai friend. He admits that we have. And those red mangoes that you get in the store, they're not real mangoes. If you want to try real mangoes, go to the Philippines. Yeah, so we have two kinds of mangoes, the yellow ones and the green ones. The yellow ones are the usual, very sweet, very fragrant, best fruit in the world mangoes. The green one is the slightly sour ones that we call actually Indian mangoes. I don't know why. Because they're sour, and because Filipinos really like to combine taste, sweet, spicy, sweet, salty, sour together. So we eat this sour green mangoes with shrimp paste. Or sometimes salt if you don't have shrimp paste. And it's really delicious. We eat that always in high school after class. Sinigang. Sinigang. Tamarind soup. Sinigang. Or sinigang. Or tamarind soup. But actually, it's not just tamarind soup because you can have sinigang based in guava, sinigang based in some other sour things. Masarap ang sinigang dahil sa saktong asim na lasa nito. Sakto. Tamarind soup is delicious because of its pleasantly sour taste. So, you can make sinigang with pork or with shrimp or with fish. But my favorite is pork sinigang. What is yours? Pork also. Before when I was young, I liked shrimp sinigang. But then I realized I like shrimp better in either curry or just in butter sauce because shrimp is better in butter sauce. So, sinigang is best with pork. Dinuguan. 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 Or in English, dinuguan. Ang dinuguan ay ang dugo ng baboy. Dinuguan is pig's blood. Oh, but I like it. I like dinuguan a lot. Especially if dinuguan has more meat. Because some dinuguan doesn't have any meat at all. Just like the pig's blood. It's not pig's blood. It's coagulated pig's blood, isn't it? No, just a bit of coagulation there. But it's like a stew kind of pig's blood. What do you say? What does it mean? But it's very delicious. And I like eating it with rice because we eat everything with rice, right? Next is sisig. Sisig. Everyone's favorite, sisig. Or, in English, sisig. Ang sisig ay mas masarap pag sisling sisig. Sisig is sisig is even more delicious if it's sizzling. I think the original idea of sisig is chopped pig's face. So the meat that you use there in sisig is pig's face. So you just cut up everything, and then add some lime, liver, and then cut up everything, and then make it to a sizzling plate. So everything is as if it's fried, right? And then you add some what's this, like spicy things. Now in many restaurants you can order sisig in, say, pork sisig, right? Or tuna sisig. Tuna sisig is really good. That's it for today's lesson. Hope you learned something new. And have you ever tried any Filipino food? If you've tried something that we haven't said, please comment them down below and tell us if you like them or not. Or if you have tried the ones that we have said, please comment them down below and tell us if you like them. And hopefully you did. Because if you don't, then go. Get out. Bye. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you want to learn more Filipino, head on to filipinopod101.com. Till the next lesson. Nagbabago. Ano ka? Hanggang sa muli. Hello guys, and welcome to Filipino Top Words. I'm Erica, and for today, we will learn about the 10 compliments you always want to hear. Ang guwapo mo. You're handsome. 2 possible circumstances. First, if the person is really, really handsome. Second, if you want something from that person. So for example, you want something done for you. You go to this person and say, "Oh, ang guwapo mo. Pwede bang pakitulungan ako?" In English, "You're handsome. Can you help me with this?" Ang galing mo, or "You're good." But this is very nice to hear, right? If your boss tells you, "Oh, you're good at what you do. Keep doing it." Then you say, "Oh, thank you. Can you raise my salary?" Right? So it's not about you being kind, but it's more about you were able to do something. Like you excelled at something. So in sports, for instance, or as I've said, in your job, you were able to do something very nice, then this is a proper compliment. So also if your friend helped you, and this friend actually did a very good job, for instance, then you would also say, "Ang galing mo," or "You're good." Mahusay kang kaibigan. You are an awesome friend. I don't really say this to my friends. I mean, we have more of like a love-hate kind of relationship. So, I mean, it's good if you actually say this more to people that you are not so close to. Yeah, because once you get close to a person, then you can actually insult this person.
Yeah.
And that's more like the kind of friendship that you will get, like more of like love-hate kind of, right? But then, of course, you want to compliment because compliments actually make you feel nice. And when you feel nice, you do things much nicer. So, this is something that you can tell your friend. You are an awesome friend. Mahusay kang kaibigan. Mas maganda palalo ang iyong kalooban kaysa sa iyong panlabas na anyo. Your inside is even more beautiful than your outside. I think if I'm your friend, I won't even like this because I want my outside to be more beautiful than my inside. Because I'm vain like that. I don't care about what you think of me inside. As long as you think I'm beautiful. I think more people are going to like that one than this. I mean, if you tell this to someone, what would that person say? And this person would probably say, what do you think of me? I'm not beautiful on the outside. Right? It's not so nice, but you can try. Let's see how far you will go. But it's actually nice to compliment people inside. Kahanga-hanga ang iyong resume. Your resume is impressive. And this is very helpful when you're being interviewed. And if you hear this phrase, then that means you have a good chance of getting the job. Because that means your resume is actually very impressive for them. But sometimes, you know how HR people are, right? They just tell you, oh, your resume is very impressive, but I'm sorry, we found someone with a more impressive resume than you. So if someone tells you, oh, your resume is very impressive, then it also tells you that, okay, you're on the right track with whatever you want to be, right? So I think that's very helpful. Magaling or great job. Saya no, great job. So this is a common phrase, common compliment that you will hear. So you can use it in many different circumstances, like you accomplished something. So if you also troubleshoot something, you're able to do it, then your boss will say, oh, that's good job or great job, better job, best job.
Greatest job.
Bestest job. Bagay sa'yo ang jacket na yan. That jacket looks nice on you. After you compliment them on the inside, you also compliment them on the outside, right? But your compliment only goes to the jacket, not per person. You can change jacket into whatever things. Bagay is, it fits you, right? So when you say bagay, other than it meaning a thing, right? Bagay also means it suits you. So you can say, that dress suits you. So bagay sa'yo ang bestida na yan. Or that hat suits you for whatever reason you're wearing a hat, right? So, or those glasses suit you. So that's actually a very useful compliment to learn. Maganda ang taste mo. You have good taste. So this is a very nice compliment if someone tells you, oh, you have very good taste in, say, furniture, right?
Furniture.
Or in clothes, or on, house decor, right? That's a very nice, because that means, we use the same word actually, taste. But usually we just say, maganda ang taste mo. Or okay ang taste mo, right? Okay ang taste mo. Which all means you have good taste. Maganda ang iyong ngiti. Your smile is beautiful. I think you only say this to your prospective partners. You don't say this to your friends, right? Because if you say this to your friends, they'll be like, what is wrong with you? Right? So, maganda means beautiful. So you can replace ngiti with many other things. So you can say, bag. Maganda ang iyong bag. Or, your bag is beautiful. Or, maganda ang iyong buhok. Or, your hair is nice. Right? Maganda ang iyong damit. Or, your clothes are nice. So, you can change ngiti to something more appropriate for the occasion. But if you're courting someone, maganda ang iyong ngiti can actually help. But then, whoever you're courting is going to be like, what? I think it would be much better if you say, maganda ang ngipin mo. You have good teeth. Ang ganda mo. You look gorgeous. Or you look beautiful. Or you look pretty, depending on the level of prettiness. Right? ang ganda mo, which means you look gorgeous or you look beautiful. Or you can also say, ang cute mo, right? Which means you look cute. And we say this like for small people. Ah, you're so cute, right? I have two close friends who are very, very petite. And they're really, really cute. They're like my kids. They're so cute. So, if you want to say that she or he is very, very beautiful, then you can just repeat words. So, ang ganda-ganda mo, ang galing-galing mo, right? And then you can change your tone to make it sarcastic. So, if you think that this person is actually not really good at this job, but you want to be sarcastic, you can say, ang galing-galing mo. And we like being sarcastic in Filipino, so you will hear that a lot. And that's it for today's lesson, and hope you learned something new. If you have heard any of these, comment them down below, and what do you think is the most useful among these things? Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel, and if you want to learn more Filipino, visit filipinopod101.com. Hanggang sa muli, blah blah blah. Genki. Hi everyone. Hi everyone, I'm Erica and welcome to Filipino Top Words. For today, we will learn the 10 phrases you never want to hear. So let's begin. Nadagdagan ba ang timbang mo nitong nakaraan? Have you gained weight recently? The first phrase you won't ever want to hear is, nadagdagan ba ang timbang mo nitong nakaraan? In English, have you gained weight recently? I don't know. I also don't like hearing it, but I don't mind it. But I don't like hearing it. This is nicely put, actually. So for Filipinos, they would ask you directly. They would not ask you. They would comment on you. Oh, you look fatter, right? Or you look bigger. So in Filipino, you got a bit bigger or you got fatter. You became bigger. In Filipino is tumaba ka. Usually like that, like aunts, they see you, for example, you've been away for quite some time, you come back, and then your aunts will be like, oh, tumaba ka. Right? Especially in the Philippines, you get lots of food every time you go to a restaurant. And there's another thing. Usually, you have your rice, right? And then you have your meat. And then you eat your rice with your meat, and then you realize, oh, I still have some more meat left. Then you'll get another serving of rice, and then you eat your rice, and then you eat your meat, and then you realize, I don't have any more meat, but I still have rice. And then, okay, I'll get another serving of meat. And then it's like, and it happens, you know. Mayroon kang puting buhok. You have gray hair. So the next phrase that you won't ever want to hear is mayroon kang puting buhok. Or in English, you have gray hair or white. When someone tells me I have gray hair, I immediately try to have it pulled. For me, for instance, I'm always like concerned. I just want my hair to be always like this really shiny black. And then, so we take care of it, right? Like you cover your hair also because too much sun can make your hair, what can damage your hair, like make it a bit lighter, almost brown. But I want my hair always to be black, so I'm kind of really very like careful with it. Sinabi ko na sayo. I told you so. Sinabi ko na sayo. Or, I told you so. Who wants to hear this? No one, right? In any other language, no one will hear this, I think. Right? Because it just like drives your mistake into your face. Like, you did this. I told you so. You should have done this. And if you're Filipino, your immediate response would be, obvious ba? Or isn't it obvious? Just like, leave.
Like, ano nga yun?
Because Filipinos can be very sarcastic also. So they would just be like, yeah, it happened. So, nothing can be done. So, what's the point of saying, I told you so? Tanggal ka na sa trabaho. You're fired. Tanggal ka na sa trabaho. Or, you're fired. So, if you're at work, do your job properly. Because they're paying you. They might as well do it, right? Hindi ikaw ang problema. Ako. It is not you. Is me. The next phrase that you don't want to hear, especially if you're splitting up, is hindi ikaw ang problema. Ako ba siya? Ako. Charot. Which in English is, it's not you, it is me. Okay. It's you then. If you insist, go ahead. Salamat sa pagpapadala ng iyong resume. Ngunit, ang posisyon ay napuno na. Thank you for your resume. However, the position has been filled. The next phrase that no one ever wants to hear is actually not a phrase. It's actually 2 sentences. But still, you don't want to hear or you don't want to read, right? Is, salamat sa pagpapadala ng iyong resume. Ngunit, ang posisyon ay napuno na. Or, thank you for your resume. However, the position has been filled.
Next.
But this is a nice thing actually to receive, especially if you're applying, right, for jobs, because you're not left just waiting. So at least you know, okay, this is not for me. I'm going to move on, look for another boyfriend or another girlfriend. Usually goes. Dapat tayong makipagkita sa ibang mga tao. We should see other people. The next phrase you hopefully won't hear is, dapat tayong makipagkita sa ibang mga tao. Or, we should see other people. I don't know why it's so sad. It's all about rejection. So, hopefully you don't get to experience this. Kailangan natin mag-usap. We need to talk. So, the next phrase that you don't ever want to hear is, kailangan natin mag-usap. Or, we need to talk. I think in any circumstance, this is not a nice phrase to hear, right? Whether it be your boyfriend, girlfriend, or your boss, then this is never a nice phrase to hear. So what do you do when someone tells you, we need to talk?
Mag-rosaryo ko.
Well, because we are Filipinos and we're religious, then we start praying at the rosary. Ang pangit mo. You're ugly. Next phrase that you definitely don't want to hear directed to you is, ang pangit mo. Or, you're ugly. I mean, who would say this? Is there anyone who will say this? Will anyone say this?
Super mean.
Are you a kid to say this?
Yeah.
I think only kids say this, right? And even kids nowadays are kind of a bit like politically correct. They don't really just say you're ugly. You are ugly. So if someone tells this to you, then just unfriend this person. You don't need that kind of negativity in your life. Pasensya na, nakalimutan ko. Sorry, I forgot. Pasensya na, nakalimutan ko. Which in English is, sorry, I forgot. This is very useful actually, but if it's directed to you, and for instance, the thing that was forgotten is very important, then you don't want to hear this. Say, your boyfriend to buy bread on his way home, right? And he forgot, so you don't have breakfast. So, can you eat, sorry, I forgot?
So you just break his face.
So that's it for this lesson. Hope you learned phrases that you don't want to hear. Don't try using those phrases because otherwise you will also hear more phrases that you don't want to hear. Don't ever want to hear. So are there any other phrase that has been said to you that you realize you don't like? If there are, please don't forget to comment them down below and don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you want more lessons in Filipino, go to filipinopod101.com and I'll see you in the next lesson. Bye-bye. Thank you for listening. I hope you won't have any problems with your partners. And always stay in love because the problem is you, not me. Hi, I'm Erica, and welcome to Filipino Top Words. Today we are going to learn 10 phrases to amaze native speakers. Salamat pero sa totoo lang, hindi ako isang native speaker. Thank you, but I'm not a native speaker actually. Salamat, pero sa totoo lang, hindi ako isang native speaker. Thank you, but I'm not a native speaker actually. If you start learning now, you'll be one of those few foreigners who can amaze Filipinos. Isang taon lang ang kinailangan ko para maging mahusay sa pagsasalita. It took me only 1 year to become fluent. Isang taon lang ang kinailangan ko para maging mahusay sa pagsasalita. It took me only 1 year to become fluent. So I don't know how easy actually Filipino is for foreign people. I don't know if in 1 year you'll be able to speak it. Probably like the basics of it, right? Because Filipino, you don't really need to learn new alphabet. And also, some of the words are in Spanish. So if you kind of know Spanish, then you would most probably understand some of the words. But for you to be able to speak 1 year, I think, is fine. But for you to be able to actually understand all the nuances in the language, then 1 year is probably a bit too short. Makakapagsalita ako ng Filipino gaya ng isang Pilipino sa loob ng 3 taon. I'll speak Filipino like a native speaker in 3 years. Makakapagsalita ako ng Filipino gaya ng isang Pilipino sa loob ng 3 taon. I'll speak Filipino like a native speaker in 3 years. That's actually a good target, right? But of course, there's still so many things that you won't be, probably like inside jokes, right? Like, or especially since Filipino language is, like any other language, is continuously evolving, right? Because we have lots of slang now, right? Like slang that you get from American slang, and then also gay lingo, right? So all of those words, and then usually when you learn Filipino, you won't get to hear those slang or like street words. And most people actually use a bit of like casual, even in, they only use really formal Filipino in, say, formal situations, formal settings. So this is a good target, but good luck. 10 taon na akong nag-aaral ng Filipino. I've been learning Filipino for 10 years. 10 taon na akong nag-aaral ng Filipino. I've been learning Filipino for 10 years. That's actually very good. I mean, for me, for us, like English, we take so many years and still there's some things that you cannot understand. So for instance, we learn English, like standard English, right? And then you talk to, say, an American or to a British person. And then there's so many words that you cannot understand. But you cannot understand them because these are like, but it's like the usage of the words is different from how you learned it from the dictionary. Sometimes when you speak to them, you sound so formal. 10 years is very good. Kaya kong manood ng mga pelikulang Filipino nang walang subtitle. I can watch Filipino movies without subtitles. Kaya kong manood ng mga pelikulang Filipino nang walang subtitle. I can watch Filipino movies without subtitles. We are releasing so many indie movies recently. Those are really good movies, so please watch Filipino movies. And if you can see them without subtitles, very good. Kaya kong magkabisa ng higit kumulang mga 50 bagong salitang Filipino kada araw. I can memorize around 50 new Filipino words a day. Kaya kong magkabisa ng higit kumulang mga 50 bagong salitang Filipino kada araw. I can memorize around 50 new Filipino words a day. Oh, that's very impressive. I don't have memories. Masaya at madaling aralin ang Filipino. Filipino is fun and easy to learn. Masaya at madaling aralin ang Filipino. Filipino is fun and easy to learn. Yeah, which actually it is, right? It's very, I think it's easier compared to, say, Japanese or Chinese. Because as I've said, first, Filipino, you don't need to learn new alphabet, which immediately makes it easy, right? Because learning a new alphabet is very hard, right? I mean, if you say, for example, walk in the streets and then you can read the signs, that's already something. Because, say, you go to Japan, then you see all the signs, and you cannot read kanji, or hiragana, or katakana, right? Then you cannot, it's like as if you're, I don't know, you're lost. But at least with Filipino, then you can immediately read the signs. And then the next thing is, you learn the words. Naintindihan ko ang lahat ng sinabi mo. I completely understood everything you said. Naintindihan ko ang lahat ng sinabi mo. I completely understood everything you said. Yeah, so when someone tells you this, then they're amazed. Yeah, so that's why they're just like, oh, great. So for example, someone tells you this very long explanation about something. Then, as a Filipino, you can simply say, gets ko. Because that's very Filipino actually, which means, I got it. Marami akong alam na slang sa Filipino. I know a lot of slang words in Filipino. Marami akong alam na slang sa Filipino. I know a lot of slang words in Filipino. It depends also when you use the slang words, because not in all circumstances can you use slang words, right? Especially if you're just meeting someone for the first time, then you would want to be a bit more formal. Then becoming too formal is not natural. It can be seen as sarcastic even. Actually, I think the key to being thought of as fluent is like getting this balance of being like casual, natural, and also a bit like more formal, right? I think so. Nakakabasa na ako ng nobela sa Filipino. I can now read a novel in Filipino. Nakakabasa na ako ng nobela sa Filipino. I can now read a novel in Filipino, which is very good. If you read actual like old Filipino novels, it's very, what do you call this, like flowery. It's like it really evokes emotions when you read Filipino novels. It's actually hard to write and really say old poetic Filipino now. So that's it for today's Filipino top words. What sentence would you say to amaze us? But actually, we're easily amazed, so don't hesitate to write anything down below or comment, because you might comment negative things, right? Okay. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you want to see other videos like this, then head on to filipinopod101.com. See you in the next lesson.
Naintindihan ko ang lahat ng sinabi mo.
Marami akong alam. Inay, ito na po ang inyong pansit. Na binili ko sa kanto. Inay, wag mo akong iwan, inay. Hi everyone, my name is Erica, and welcome to Filipino Top Words. Our lesson for today is 15 must-know family words. Ta-da! Pamilya. Pamilya. Family. Our first word is pamilya or family. Anim kami sa pamilya. Anim kami sa pamilya. There are 6 people in my family. So in the Philippines, as usual, it's like when you ask people how many they are in their family, some would ask, oh, do we include all the extended members, the members of the extended family, or just the nuclear? Because there are cases when people live with with the members of the extended family, right? That makes for a really big family. Tatay, tatay, father, tatay, or father. Hindi nagagalit ang tatay ko. Hindi nagagalit ang tatay ko. In English, my father never gets angry. So my dad, he also doesn't get angry much. It's kind of weird because he's always like this mid-state between angry and not angry. But I remember when we were young, my sister doesn't really want to study well. She doesn't like take notes in school. And she's always in the toilet when there's like an important announcement by the teacher. I don't know why, how she can time that. So usually when she comes out of school, she doesn't know what happened in class, and she doesn't know the assignment, she doesn't know anything. There was one time that he got really mad, so he made Giliw, that's my sister's name, Giliw, which means dear in Filipino. It's like a very cute name. He was so mad, he made her kneel on, what do you call this? Mongo beans, mongo seeds, right? Hello, Giliw. Asawa. Asawa. Husband or spouse. Asawa or husband. Ang aking asawa ay binalak magpari, ngunit buti na lang, hindi natuloy. Ang aking asawa ay binalak magpari, ngunit buti na lang, hindi natuloy. My husband planned on becoming a priest, but I'm thankful he didn't go through with it. Who thought of this? So in Filipino, actually, when you say asawa, it can mean both husband and wife. So actually, the best translation for asawa is spouse, right? So when you want to specify that the asawa that you're referring to is male or the husband, you would say asawang lalaki, right? He could have been a priest saving the world, but yeah, thankfully, he didn't go through with it according to the sentence. Or probably he's now regretting his decision. We don't know. Anak na lalaki. Anak na lalaki. Son. Anak na lalaki. Or son. Si Ted at Tina ay may 4 na anak na lalaki. Si Ted at Tina ay may 4 na anak na lalaki. Ted and Tina have 4 sons. When you want to say son, you would add lalaki, which is male. So anak na lalaki. Or if you want to say daughter, then you would say anak na babae, babae for female. Usually you just say, oh, my kid, right? My kid, actually. Ang anak ko, hindi na naman pumasok sa eskwelahan. My kid didn't go again to school. That was my mom's line every time when we talked about Giliw. Because Giliw really doesn't like taking down notes. Kapatid na lalaki. Kapatid na lalaki. Brother. Kapatid na lalaki. Or, in English, brother. Ang kapatid niyang lalaki ay napakatalino. Ang kapatid niyang lalaki ay napakatalino. His brother is extremely smart. Here, kapatid again is a gender-neutral word, which means sibling. So if you want to say brother, you would add lalaki to kapatid. So it would be kapatid na lalaki. Or if you want to say sister, then it would be kapatid na babae. Babae meaning female. In the family, there's always ways of calling brothers, sisters, right? So for an older brother, you would say kuya. For elder sister, you would say ate. Tío, tío, uncle. Tío or uncle. Ang tío ko ay masipag. Ang tío ko ay masipag. My uncle is hardworking. So usually, younger people would call uncles as tito. So they would just call them tito. You can also say tito to anyone like a bit at the same age as your tito. For instance, like you meet someone and then you start talking to this someone, but they're kind of like more of a like mom-dad image. So you would call the dad image as like tito, right? Something like that. Lolo. Lolo. Grandfather. Lolo or grandfather. Magaling mag-Ingles ang aking lolo. Magaling mag-Ingles ang aking lolo. My grandfather has excellent English. Biyenang lalaki. Biyenang lalaki. Father-in-law. Biyenang lalaki. Or father-in-law. Ang aking biyenang lalaki ay nakakatakot. Ang aking biyenang lalaki ay nakakatakot. My father-in-law is scary. Nanay. Nanay. Mother. Nanay. Or mother. Walang katulad ang aking nanay. Walang katulad ang aking nanay. There is no one like my mother. Because my mom is weird. She's very funny. I don't know. I think she was normal. Now she's a mom. When I'm away, I talk to her on Facebook video, right? Video call. And then so I talk to her. And the first thing that she noticed after so many things that I discussed with her, like, oh, this my how graduate school is, blah, blah. And then her immediate reaction is, oh, did you change your sheets? Kapatid na babae. Kapatid na babae. Sister. Kapatid na babae. Or sister. May isa akong nakababatang kapatid na babae. May isa akong nakababatang kapatid na babae. I have one younger sister. So this is the same thing that we discussed earlier with the word kapatid. So it's a gender-neutral noun and you can add lalaki or babae for male, female respectively to make it into a gendered noun. So for kapatid na babae, to mean sister, you added babae, which is female. Asawa. Asawa. Wife or spouse. Asawa or wife or spouse. Ang aking asawa ay dating sumali sa Miss Universe. Ang aking asawa ay dating sumali sa Miss Universe. My wife was in the Miss Universe pageant. Wow, lucky you. And this is again what we were discussing earlier about the word asawa, which literally means spouse. So if you want to put a gender on asawa, you would say asawang babae for wife or asawang lalaki for husband. So because of the context, then you can tell that the speaker is referring to a female spouse, right? Biyenang babae. Biyenang babae. Mother-in-law. Biyenang babae. Or mother-in-law. Ang aking biyenang babae ay napakabait. Ang aking biyenang babae ay napakabait. My mother-in-law is very kind. Oh, very lucky. You have a very scary father-in-law and a very kind mother-in-law. And we forgot to say something about biyenan because biyenan again is a gender-neutral word. So biyenan just means in-laws, right? When you want to emphasize that you're referring to the mother-in-law, then you would add again the word for female, which is babae. So you would say biyenang babae. And then for males, you would say biyenang lalaki. Lola. Lola. Grandmother. Lola. Or grandmother. Hindi na ako namumukhaan ng aking lola. Hindi na ako namumukhaan ng aking lola. My grandmother can no longer recognize me. Oh, this is pretty sad. Katuwang. Katuwang. Partner. Katuwang or partner. Ang katuwang sa buhay ang iyong kasama sa hirap at ginhawa. Ang katuwang sa buhay ang iyong kasama sa hirap at ginhawa. Your partner in life is your companion through thick and thin. When you're thin and then when you become thick, that's what it means. Tia. Tia. Aunt. Tia or aunt. Mapagbigay ang aking tiya. Mapagbigay ang aking tiya. My aunt is generous or tita, right? Now, being a tita is kind of like a frame of mind, right? You're lazy, you just want nice things, you just want to drink tea, you just want to relax, be experience the not be not be sweaty. If you're a tita, you're in everyone's business. Aside from all those things that I said. So imagine, you always would have titas that ask you, why aren't you still married, right? There are always those titas. They just have so much time, right? Okay, guys, that's it for this lesson. Hope you learned something new. Don't become a tita yet. Who is your favorite member of your family? How many are you and your family? And don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and visit FilipinoPod101.com to learn more Filipino. Hanggang sa muli!
Hi everyone, I'm Ice from FilipinoPod101.com. Do you know how to say I love you in Filipino? In this lesson, you'll learn 3 different ways to say I love you and a special phrase for Valentine's Day. Let's start with the most common phrase. Mahal kita. Mahal kita. I love you. This phrase is direct. You should use it only when confessing your love. If you want to be less direct, you can use this phrase. Mahalaga ka para sa akin. Mahalaga ka para sa akin. This means, you mean so much to me. Now, if you want to be more romantic in expressing your love for someone, here's a phrase for you. Hindi kayang ilarawan ng mga salita ang pag-ibig ko para sa iyo. Hindi kayang ilarawan ng mga salita ang pag-ibig ko para sa iyo. This means words cannot describe my love for you. Now you know 3 different ways to say I love you in Filipino. And here's one more. What if you want to spend Valentine's Day with someone special? In that case, you can say, maaari bang ikaw ang aking maging Valentine? Maaari bang ikaw ang aking maging Valentine? This means, will you be my Valentine? Okay, let's wrap up this lesson by recapping what you've learned. Listen to the expression and repeat after me. I love you. Mahal kita. Mahal kita. You mean so much to me. Mahalaga ka para sa akin. Mahalaga ka para sa akin. Words cannot describe my love for you. Hindi kayang ilarawan ng mga salita ang pag-ibig ko para sa iyo. Hindi kayang ilarawan ng mga salita ang pag-ibig ko para sa iyo. Will you be my Valentine? Maaari bang ikaw ang aking maging Valentine? Maaari bang ikaw ang aking maging Valentine? Well done! Here's a fun fact. Do you know about the Filipino courting tradition called harana? Harana is the tradition of serenading the person you're trying to woo from outside their house. It takes a lot of courage, but don't worry, you can have your friends back you up and play the guitar for you. You just learned 3 different ways to say I love you in Filipino, and 1 special phrase for Valentine's Day. Also, don't forget to download your free cheat sheet on how to be a good lover in the Philippines, including words for romance, compliments, and pickup lines. Check out the description below and go to filipinopod101.com now. I'll see you next time. Paalam! Filipino
It's probably...
I don't know how to And here's one more. Well done. Rare, medium rare.
You better be quiet.
Shh.
Funny.
Kamusta kayo? Ako si Erica. Hi everybody, I'm Erica. Welcome to FilipinoPod101.com's Filipino sa 3 minuto. The fastest, easiest, and most fun way to learn Filipino. In the previous lessons, we learned how to count in Filipino. I hope you spent some time practicing the numbers because they will come in handy today. We're going to learn how to go shopping in the Philippines. Before we go, you need to know how to say, how much is this? Magkano ito? Magkano ito? Are you ready to go shopping in the Philippines? Let's go! You see something you like and want to ask the shop clerk how much it costs. First, you might want to say either ate, older sister, or kuya, older brother. It's common in the Philippines to call a sales clerk ate or kuya to show respect to them. Ate, magkano ito? Kuya, magkano ito? Magkano means how much, and ito means this. To be more polite, you just add po to the phrase. Ate, magkano po ito? Kuya, magkano po ito? If you want to be more specific when asking, how much is this, and refer to a certain type of object, we need to add the connector ng to ito, and then the object that you want to buy. For example, a hat is sombrero. Ate, magkano po itong sombrero? Or, Kuya, magkano po itong sombrero? How much is this hat? Ate, magkano po itong sombrero? Kuya, magkano po itong sombrero? The shopkeeper will usually answer by simply saying the price. 100 piso po. Or even the price without the peso. 100 po. You might also hear them use the word lang, meaning only, or just, to imply that the price is cheap. For example, 100 piso lang po. 100 lang po. What is 100? I'm not telling you. Okay, it's 100. The hat costs 100 pesos. Now it's time for Erica's tips. It is common to haggle in Philippine bargain markets, so when buying, don't forget to say, may bawas pa po, meaning, is there a discount? Just remember, it's easier to get discounts if you're polite, so don't forget those pos. Happy shopping! At this point, can you count pesos in Filipino? We are going to learn how to do this and much more in the next lesson. I'll see you in the next Filipino sa 3 minuto lesson. Hanggang sa muli! Hi everybody, I'm Erica from FilipinoPod101.com. Do you know how to say bye in Filipino? In this lesson, you learn 3 parting expressions in Filipino. Let's start with the easiest one. Paalam. Paalam. This means goodbye in Filipino. You can use this expression on any occasion with anyone. If you want to be more formal, there's a different phrase you should use. Sige po, mauna na ako. Sige po, mauna na ako. This means, I'll go ahead, in Filipino. The word po makes this phrase polite. Use this expression with people older than you. If you want to sound more casual, here's a phrase for you. Sige, mauna na ako. Sige, mauna na ako. This is a casual way to say bye. This phrase is used amongst friends and in other casual situations. It can also be used with close family members and relatives similar in age. Let's wrap up this lesson by recapping what you've learned. Listen to the expressions and repeat after me. Goodbye. Paalam. Paalam. I'll go ahead. Sige po, mauna na ako. Sige po, mauna na ako. The casual way to say bye. Sige, mauna na ako. Sige, mauna na ako. Well done! Here's a fun fact. In a daily conversation, you will hear the casual phrase, sige, mauna na ako, more often than other expressions. So remember both paalam and sige, mauna na ako when talking with your friends. You just learned how to say bye in 3 different ways in Filipino. And don't forget, you can learn Filipino twice as fast with your free PDF lessons. Just click on the link in the description to download them. See you soon! Paalam! Just clink, clink. Hi everybody, I'm Erica from FilipinoPod101.com. Do you know how Filipino people celebrate New Year's Day? In this lesson, you'll learn some important phrases about the Filipino New Year and some valuable cultural tips. In Filipino, New Year's Day is called Araw ng Bagong Taon. Araw ng Bagong Taon. On Araw ng Bagong Taon, Filipino people greet each other by saying, Manigong Bagong Taon. Manigong Bagong Taon. This means Happy New Year. When you meet someone for the first time in the new year, be sure to greet them with this phrase. Filipino people also celebrate the holiday with special events and customs, with having a party being the most common. That's why you should remember this word. Handaan. Handaan. This means party. In recent years, going to street parties to welcome the new year has become a popular tradition in the Philippines, especially in Manila. This is partly because firecrackers are gradually being prohibited for individual use. Due to the massive amount of firecrackers used and because the people setting them off at home are not professionals, individual use of firecrackers brings danger to the neighborhood. On this special day, Filipino people have medianoche. Medianoche. This is a feast shared by the family to welcome the new year. Every type of food served is laced with an underlying meaning and is believed to bring luck and prosperity for the new year. Some of the food prepared during the party include a dozen circular fruits believed to bring prosperity. Biko, which is a kind of sweetened sticky rice, is made in order to make our luck stick around. Pansit, a type of noodle, is made for longevity. Let's wrap up this lesson by recapping what you've learned. Listen to the words and repeat after me. New Year's Day. Araw ng Bagong Taon. Araw ng Bagong Taon. Happy New Year. Manigong Bagong Taon. Manigong Bagong Taon. Party. Handaan. Handaan. A feast shared by the family to welcome the new year. Medianoche. Medianoche. Well done! Here's a fun fact. Do you know what is a good outfit to wear on New Year's Eve in the Philippines? It It is said that polka dots are the best design to wear on New Year's Eve. Filipinos believe that wearing something with circular patterns like polka dots will bring a prosperous year full of luck, especially when it comes to money. You just learned how Filipinos celebrate New Year's Day and some important facts about the holiday. And if you want to learn Filipino twice as fast, just click the link in the description and download tons of PDF lessons for free. See you soon! Hanggang sa muli! Gradual mo.
Why? Maybe more in front. Can you go a bit closer?
Yes.
That didn't look very good.
I like that. It doesn't want to go. but not smiling, right?
Yeah, like right there is the sweet spot.
You don't look like you're eating it.
This is really hard job actually. I think that's enough. Kamusta kayo? Ako si Erica. Hi everybody, I'm Erica. Welcome to FilipinoPod101.com's Filipino sa 3 minuto. The fastest, easiest, and most fun way to learn Filipino. In the last lesson, we learned the phrase, mawalang galang lang po. Nagsasalita po ba kayo ng Ingles? Excuse me, do you speak English? We mentioned the phrase, mawalang galang lang po, which means, excuse me, in formal Filipino. In this lesson, we're going to learn how to use this and other words when apologizing in Filipino. We can use mawalang galang lang po when we need to stop someone to ask a question. It literally means just to be rude, but is used to mean excuse me. For example, mawalang galang lang po, nasaan po ang palengke? Excuse me, where is the market? Mawalang galang lang po, nasaan po ang palengke? There is another phrase we use to mean excuse me, and that is paumanhin po. However, paumanhin po is used when you have bothered someone and could also mean I'm sorry. Paumanhin po. We use mawalang galang lang po and paumanhin po exclusively for formal situations. For informal situations, Filipinos usually just say, excuse me. But if there is something you really want to apologize for, it might be better to use a different phrase. That phrase is, patawarin mo ako. It means, please forgive me, and is used in informal situations. Patawarin mo ako. In formal situations, we say, patawarin niyo po ako. Patawarin niyo po ako. Here we added po and turned the second person pronoun into plural. Another common phrase Filipinos use for apologizing is, pasensya na po kayo. Pasensya na po kayo. This phrase is usually heard from shopkeepers when apologizing to customers. It can be translated as, please be patient with us. Now it's time for Erica's tips. In the Philippines, it is normal to simply say, excuse me, or I'm sorry, since English is commonly used in conversation. You could also add po to these phrases to make them sound a bit more formal and sincere. Excuse me po, or excuse po. I'm sorry po, or sorry po. Are you able to count in Filipino? In the next lesson, we will learn the numbers in Filipino from 1 to 19. I'll be waiting for you in our next Filipino sa 3 minuto lesson. Hanggang sa muli! Hi everyone, kamusta? I'm Erica, and welcome to Filipino Top Words. So for today's lesson, we are going to talk about top 25 verbs that you will need when you go to the Philippines. So let's go ahead and get started. Maging, to become. Maging, to become. Maging can mean to be or to become. Mahirap maging hindi tapat sa sarili. It's hard not to be honest with yourself. Gustuhin, to like. So next word is gustuhin, to like. Nagustuhan niya ang pinadala mo. She liked what you sent. Gawin, to do. Next word is gawin, which means to do. It's easier said than done. In Filipino, we say, mas madaling sabihin kaysa gawin. And your mom will always use this because your mom always has many things that she wants you to do. Sabihin, to say. So our next verb is sabihin. In English, it can mean either to say or to tell. So for example, we want to say in English, don't tell our secret to anyone. In Filipino, you would say, huwag mong sabihin ang sikreto natin kahit kanino. Ipaliwanag, to explain. Ipaliwanag, to explain. Dapat ipaliwanag ng guro ng mabuti ang paksa. The teacher should explain the matter thoroughly. So for example, you're resting, looking at your phone, and then here comes your mom and tells you, magpaliwanag ka. Explain. This is very useful when you have to talk to your mom. Marinig, to hear. Marinig, to hear. Hindi kita marinig. I can't hear you. Again, you can use this when you're talking to your mom. Probably you can tell her, I didn't do this because I didn't hear you tell me do this. That's a very unsatisfactory answer for your mom all the time. Pumunta, to go. Pumunta, to go. So we can say, gusto kong pumunta sa Palawan. I want to go to Palawan. Tara na, biyahe tayo. Alamin, to know. Alamin, to know. Gusto kong alamin kung mas mahirap bang matutunan ang Japanese o Chinese. I want to know if it's harder to learn Japanese or Chinese. Compared to Japanese or Chinese, Filipino is easier, right? So, please take the time to study Filipino. You will take less time than studying Japanese than if you go and study Japanese or Chinese. So, you know what to learn. Kunin, to take. Kunin, to take. For example, we want to say in English, please take the bill so that we can leave already. In Filipino, what you will say is, kunin mo na ang bill natin para makaalis na tayo. So when you go to the Philippines and you eat at a restaurant and you want to ask for the check, just do this hand sign. Makita, to see. Makita, to see. Huwag kang mainis pag nakita mo. Don't get annoyed when you see it. So, what are the things that you get annoyed when you see? Dumating, to arrive. Dumating, to arrive. Dumating na ang pinakahihintay mong balita. Your long-awaited news has finally arrived. Isipin, to think. Isipin, to think. Isipin nating mabuti bago magdesisyon. Let's think of it thoroughly before making a decision. Actually, this is very important because every day of your life you have to think. Tumingin, to look. Tumingin, to look. Huwag kang tumingin sa malayo pag may kausap ka. Don't look far away when you're talking with someone. Because obviously you're talking with someone, right? How would it feel like if you're talking to this person face to face and you're looking at the side like this? Naisin, to want. Naisin, to want. I want to become an engineer rather than be a doctor. Mas nais kong maging inhinyero kaysa maging doktor. Magbigay, to give. Magbigay, to give. For example, someone asks you, oh, who can give me advice on something? And then you say, Alex gives excellent advice on whatever that is. In Filipino, how you would say it, magaling magbigay ng payo si Alex. Gamitin, to use. Gamitin, to use. So for example, I don't know where you can use actually you can use gamitin a lot. For example, let's use it in a proper sentence. Hindi natin pwedeng gamitin ang may nakasulat na bawal gamitin. So, in English, we can say, we can't use the ones which are marked don't use. I have a pretty straightforward, don't use it. Hanapin, to find. Hanapin, to find. You're asking your mom, where is this thing that I'm looking for? So she says, Pina, find it in the second drawer. In Filipino, it means, hanapin mo sa ikalawang drawer. Usually, your mom will call you Pina, according to her, if you don't use your eyes to look for things. It's very useful. So just remember that if you are going to look for something, don't ask your mom because you don't know what kind of fate will befall you. You might be a pineapple at the end. Lumabas, to go out. Lumabas, or to go out. So you want to ask permission from your parents before you go out. How do we say it in Filipino? Magpaalam ka muna sa iyong mga magulang bago ka lumabas. Ask permission from your parents before you go out. Someday, kids, you will be parents too. Magtanong, to ask. Magtanong, to ask. So, for example, you have a new office mate and you want to tell your office mate, huwag kang mahiyang magtanong kapag hindi mo alam ang sagot. In English, what you just said means, don't hesitate to ask if you don't know the answer. Magtrabaho, to work. The next verb is magtrabaho, or to work. So, for example, you want to say, as much as possible, I don't want to work overtime. In Filipino, you can tell your boss, ayaw kong magtrabaho ng overtime hanggat maaari. Mag, it's the way you conjugate verbs, but it's in Filipino. And then trabajo comes from the Spanish word trabajo. Pumasok, to enter. Pumasok, to enter. For example, you went to a club and you have a friend who looks 18, actually, who looks younger than 18, like a high school student. So you can tell this friend, you are not allowed to enter the club if you're under 18 years old. Or in Filipino, bawal pumasok sa club ang mas bata sa 18 taong gulang. Maramdaman, to feel. So next verb is maramdaman, or to feel. For example, you really are irritated with a person and you don't want the person to feel that you're irritated with him or her. So if you want to say in English, I don't want her to feel that I'm frustrated, then you would say in Filipino, ayaw kong maramdaman niya ang inis ko sa kanya. But I think you have to approach her and tell her that you are frustrated. So go ahead and tell her. Subukan, to try. Subukan. This again, some like really inspiring example sentences that we have here. You want to say to your friend, because you want to be really encouraging, why don't you try it before you say that you can't? And assuming that this friend cannot understand English, then you would have to learn the Filipino. You would say, bakit di mo subukan bago mo sabihin na hindi mo kaya? Mag-iwan, to leave. Mag-iwan. It actually means to leave something. You want to say in Filipino, mag-iwan ka ng 500 pesos or ng 500 piso para pambili ng pagkain. In English, please leave 500 pesos to buy food. Tumakbo, to run. Last verb for this lesson is tumakbo, or to run. So, for example, you are running and then you realize it's 200 meters already. So you would say, it's tiring to run more than 200 meters. And in Filipino, if you really want to say it, you would say, nakakapagod tumakbo ng higit sa 200 metro. So that's it for our lesson for today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Do you have any other Filipino verbs that you know that didn't make it to the list? Go ahead and don't hesitate. Please subscribe. Stay here until the next lesson begins. Kamusta kayo? Ako si Erica. Hi everybody, I'm Erica. Welcome to FilipinoPod101.com's Filipino sa 3 minuto, the fastest, easiest, and most fun way to learn Filipino. In the last lesson, we learned the numbers from 1 to 19. Do you remember them? Well, let's not stop there. Now I'll give you the tens. 20, 20, 30, 30, 40, 40, 50, 50, 60, 60, 70, 70, 80, 80, 90, 90. Just like 11 to 19 from the last lesson, the tens also has a common formula. It is the numbers 1 to 9 plus connector plus pu. As I mentioned, the connector is usually NA if the letter before it is a consonant and NG if the letter before it is a vowel. I also mentioned that if a P follows the NG connector, then it becomes an M. Now here's one more thing. If the vowel before M is an O, then that also changes and becomes a U, just like in 30, 70, and so on. Finally, one last thing to note is that for the number 10, we say 10 and not 10. Are you ready to try making compound numbers out of the numbers we've learned? I promise it's easier. How would you say 56 in Filipino? Let's take it step by step. 50 is 50. Just add and, at, in its contracted form, and then 6, anim. So it will be 56. Done. Isn't that easy? Let's try another number. For instance, 98. Take 90, 90, and add at, in its contracted form, then 8, 8. 98. Ready for more challenge? How do we say 100 in Filipino? It is 100. That is, isa, which is 1, followed by the connector NG, then daan, which is 100. Now let's try counting up to 999. For compound numbers in the hundreds, the formula is numbers 1 to 9 plus connector plus daan plus numbers 20 to 99. For example, 169 is 169. One thing to note is that daan becomes raan when the NA connector is used. For example, 492. 492. For compound numbers with 1 to 19, you have to add an at after saying the 100. For example, 401 is 400 at isa. And now it's time for Erica's tips. Conjugation may be the trickiest part in learning Filipino, but it is done mostly to make sentences sound more natural and easier to pronounce. So don't worry if you can't nail it down yet. People will still understand you. Just keep practicing and you'll get the hang of it. Can you believe it? After only 2 lessons, you can now count up to 999 in Filipino. In the next lesson, we are going to put your number knowledge to use. Do you have all the skills you need to go shopping in the Philippines? Let's learn it together in the next Filipino sa 3 minuto lesson. Hanggang sa muli! Hi everyone, I'm Erica and welcome to Filipino Top Words. Our lesson for today is the 10 questions you should know in Filipino. So let's begin. Anong pangalan mo? What's your name? The first question that you should know is Anong pangalan mo? In English, what's your name? So, how do you answer this question? For instance, my name is Erica. So in Filipino, I would say Ako si Erica or I'm Erica. This is a very useful question when you want to get to know other people. So you better remember this. Anong pangalan mo? In English, what's your name? Kamusta? How are you? The next question that you should know is, kamusta? Or in English, how are you? How do you respond to this question? You say, mabuti naman. Ikaw? Or, I'm good. You? So this is also again another very common question that you can ask your friends just because you're friends. So you have to know how they are. Parang lagi na lang magka-sarcastic yung... Actually, the longer version is kamusta ka? But no one really says that now. So you can just simply say kamusta. Yeah, or even shorter, you can just say musta. So it's very nice actually to say this to people, especially if you haven't seen them for a long time. Taga saan ka? Where are you from? So the next question that you should know is taga saan ka? Or in English, where are you from? So how do you answer this question? If you are, say, from Manila, then you reply, taga Maynila ako. Or, I'm from Manila. So say you are from Lisbon, then you'd say, taga Lisbon ako. Or, I'm from Lisbon. So this is also a very important question to know, especially if you're just meeting someone for the first time. So, I don't know, just people are very interested in where you go home. Or where you're from, not really where you go home. Kailan ang iyong kaarawan? When is your birthday? Kailan ang iyong kaarawan? In English, when is your birthday? So if you want to really respond to this question in fluent Filipino, then you would say, sa ika-25 ng Disyembre ang aking kaarawan. Or in English, this translates to my birthday is on December 25th. If it's December 25, then obviously your birthday is on Christmas. But if say August 9, then you would say in Filipino, ika-siyam ng Agosto. But no one really says that, so you just say August 9. Just say August 9. Ang kaarawan ko ay sa August 9. Or my birthday is on August 9. Saan ka nakatira? Where do you live? Saan ka nakatira? Or, where do you live? So, for example, you live in Makati City, which is the business district. So, you will say, nakatira ako sa Makati. Or, I live in Makati. Saan ka nagtatrabaho? Where do you work? The next question that you should know is, saan ka nagtatrabaho? Or, where do you work? So, for example, you want to say that you work at Intel. Or sometimes there's call center in Intel, right? So there are many call centers in the Philippines and many younger Filipinos work in call centers. And so you can say, nagtatrabaho ako sa Intel. Or I work at Intel. And then usually the follow-up question would be, what do you do at Intel? So then you would say, I'm a call center agent, or I'm a, IT person, or I'm the CEO of Intel. Oh, wow. Ano ang phone number mo? What's your phone number? The next question that you should know is, ano ang phone number mo? Oh, we're getting really in closer territories. So, for example, you really want to be friends with this person or more than friends. Then you ask, ano ang phone number mo? Or, what's your phone number? For instance, you want to give your phone number to this person, whoever this person is. Ang number ko ay, and then your number. For instance, 0123456789. In English, my number is this. So usually people would still ask for your phone number. But usually they would say, what's your cell phone number? Saan ka nag-aral ng Filipino? Where did you learn Filipino? Saan ka nag-aral ng Filipino? In English, where did you learn Filipino? So this is very interesting and very important to be able to respond to this. When the person that you're talking to is really amazed with your Filipino, so you better reply with, nag-aral ako gamit ang filipinopod101.com. Or, I studied with filipinopod101.com. So where did you learn Filipino? Mahilig ka ba sa pagkaing Pilipino? Do you like Filipino food? Mahilig ka ba sa pagkaing Pilipino? Or, do you like Filipino food? For instance, you really do. So, how do you respond to this question? You say, oo, lalong-lalo na ang adobo, if adobo is your favorite. Or it can be kare-kare. Then you would say, oo, lalong-lalo na ang kare-kare. In English, yes, especially kare-kare or adobo. This is very important question to know because you usually get asked this question when you say go to gatherings or parties or just like when you're staying in a Filipino friend's house, right? Their moms would usually ask you, oh, do you like Filipino food? What do you want to eat? And then they will most probably give you that food, serve you that food. They're very hospitable. Saan ang magandang pasyalan sa Pilipinas? Where is it nice to go to in the Philippines? The next question that you should know is, saan ang magandang pasyalan sa Pilipinas? In English, where is it nice to go to in the Philippines? If I'm going to give an advice now, I would say Palawan, definitely. And you would see, just type Palawan in Google, you would see really beautiful pictures. But if you want to be really specific, where exactly in Palawan, then either El Nido or Coron. So for instance, I would say sa Coron, Palawan. Or in English, in Coron, Palawan. It's very nice actually, very cheap and very beautiful place. So I haven't been to Coron, I've been to El Nido. I've been to El Nido, not Coron, not yet. So those are the top 10 questions that you should know. And are there any other questions that you think you should know? If there are, please don't forget to comment them down below. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and go to FilipinoPod101.com. Bye. Just joking. If you want real mangoes, go to the Philippines. We have the best mangoes. And if you really want the best mangoes, I think you should go to this island called Guimaras. Hi everybody, I'm Erica from FilipinoPod101.com. Do you know how to say thank you in Filipino? In this lesson, you'll learn 3 different ways to say thank you and how to respond. Let's start with the easiest one. Salamat. Sa-la-mat. It means thank you. If you want to show your sincere appreciation for something, you can say this expression. Maraming salamat. Ma-ra-ming sa-la-mat. Marami means a lot, so maraming salamat literally means many thanks. So simply add maraming if you want to show you appreciate someone a lot. What if you want to show appreciation in a more formal way? Here's how you can say it. Salamat po. Sa-la-mat po. We add the word po at the end to show respect to older people. Now you know 3 different ways to say thank you in Filipino. But how do you respond if someone thanks you? If someone thanks you in Filipino, simply say, walang anuman. It means, you're welcome. If it's a formal situation, say, walang anuman po. Let's wrap up this lesson by recapping what we've learned. Listen to the expression and repeat after me. Thank you. Salamat. Salamat. The way to say, thank you so much. Maraming salamat. Maraming salamat. The formal way to say thank you. Salamat po. Salamat po. And to respond, just say, walang anuman. Walang anuman. Well done! Filipino has been influenced by many languages throughout history, and the phrase salamat has a connection to the Arabic phrase salam. Don't be surprised if you find similar sounding words from other languages, especially Spanish words. You just learned 3 different ways to say thank you and how to respond in Filipino. And if you really want to become fluent and speak Filipino from the very first lesson, go to filipinopod101.com. I'll see you next time. Hanggang sa muli! Welcome to FilipinoPod101.com's Filipino sa 3 minuto. The fastest, easiest, and most fun way to learn Filipino. Kamusta? Ako si Erica. Kinagagalak kong makilala ka. Hi, I'm Erica. Nice to meet you. In this series, we're going to learn basic Filipino expressions. It's super easy and it only takes 3 minutes. In this lesson, you're going to learn how to introduce yourself in Filipino. Are you ready? Here we go. Kamusta? Ako si Erica. Kinagagalak kong makilala ka. Hi, I'm Erica. It's nice to meet you. Kamusta? Ako si Erica. Kinagagalak kong makilala ka. Did you get it? Let's take it step by step. Start by saying, Kamusta? This means, how are you? But is commonly used to say, hi in Filipino. Next, say, ako si, I am, and then your name. My name is Erica, so I'll say, ako si Erica. Finally, say, kinagagalak kong makilala ka. This means, it's nice to meet you. Kinagagalak kong makilala ka. Kamusta? Ako si Erica. Kinagagalak kong makilala ka. Next, we're going to learn how to introduce ourselves in formal Filipino. But first, I'll teach you 2 words that turns any Filipino sentence formal. They are po and opo. Po, opo. All Filipinos learn these 2 words when they are young because they are a must when speaking politely to those who are older. Now here's how to introduce yourself in formal Filipino. Kamusta po? Ako si Erica Reyes. Kinagagalak ko po kayong makilala. How are you? I'm Erica Reyes. It's nice to meet you. Kamusta po? Ako si Erica Reyes. Kinagagalak ko po kayong makilala. Did you notice the word po in this introduction? Let's compare it with the informal introduction we learned earlier. First, we have kamusta po instead of just kamusta. As we've said before, kamusta means how are you and has essentially the same use as hi in English. It comes from the Spanish phrase como esta. We add the word po to this to make it polite. For the next sentence, there is no need to change ako si or I am. However, saying your full name is considered more formal. In the Philippines, we say our first names first and last names last. Finally, pay attention to the ending. We went from kinagagalak kong makilala ka to kinagagalak ko po kayong makilala. Ka or you is changed to the plural pronoun kayo to make the sentence more formal. The pronoun is moved to the front of the verb, and ng is added to connect the words. Finally, we also add po to the sentence to show respect. One more time. The informal way to introduce yourself in Filipino is, Kamusta? Ako si Erica. Kinagagalak kong makilala ka. The formal way to introduce yourself is, Kamusta po? Ako si Erica Reyes. Kinagagalak ko po kayong makilala. Now it's time for Erica's tips. Have you gotten hold of saying, kinagagalak kong makilala ka? Well, you might be surprised, but Filipinos say, nice to meet you, more often than its Filipino counterpart. This is because many English words and phrases are used in daily conversation since English is the second official language of the Philippines. Filipinos also shake hands during first meetings, just like in many Western cultures. But of course, If you use the proper Filipino introduction, your new Filipino friends will definitely be impressed. Do you know how to say thank you in Filipino? How about you're welcome? Watch the next Filipino sa 3 minuto lesson to find out. See you next time. Hanggang sa muli! Kamusta kayo? Ako si Erica. Hi everybody, I'm Erica. Welcome to FilipinoPod101.com's Filipino sa 3 minuto. The fastest, easiest, and most fun way to learn Filipino. In the last lesson, we learned how to be grateful to people by saying salamat. In this lesson, we'll learn some of the most common greetings used in the Philippines. Handa na ba kayo? Are you ready? Then let's start. First, we'll learn the greetings we use when meeting people. Kamusta? Kamusta. Do you remember this from the first lesson? Kamusta literally means, how are you? But it is used as hi or hello. Musta is a shortened version of kamusta, which you can use when greeting friends. Musta, for formal situations, we use kamusta po. Kamusta po. Now, here are sometimes specific greetings used when meeting people. Magandang araw. Magandang araw. Literally, magandang araw means good day. To be more specific about which time in the day we greet someone, we use magandang umaga, magandang tanghali, and magandang hapon, meaning good morning, good noon, and good afternoon respectively. Magandang umaga. Magandang tanghali. Magandang hapon. During the evening, there is only one greeting, and that is magandang gabi. Magandang gabi. Maganda means beautiful or good. The connector NG is added to connect maganda and gabi. In formal situations, you just need to add po to the Filipino greetings I've already mentioned. Magandang araw po, magandang umaga po, magandang tanghali po, magandang hapon po, magandang gabi po. Are you ready for more? Next are some greetings we use when leaving. To say goodbye in Filipino, we say paalam. Paalam. We also have sige mauna na ako. Literally, all right, I'll go ahead. And it's a more casual way of saying goodbye. Sige mauna na ako. Finally, we have hanggang sa muli, meaning see you again. Hanggang sa muli. Again, to make these formal, we just need to add po. Paalam po. Sige, mauna na po ako. Hanggang sa muli po. Now you can greet people in many different ways in Filipino. Let's review them all again. Here are the greetings we use when meeting people. Kamusta? Magandang araw. Magandang umaga. Magandang tanghali. Magandang hapon. Magandang gabi. When leaving, we have paalam. Sige, mauna na ako. Hanggang sa muli. For greeting people who are older than you, just add po. It's easy, isn't it? Now it's time for Erica's tips. Another famous greeting you might hear in the Philippines is mabuhay. This literally means live, but it's used to mean welcome. It is used in formal situations like when welcoming an audience during events, or when welcoming people into the country, but not necessarily when welcoming guests to your home. During the next lesson, we'll learn the meaning of the phrase, nagsasalita ka ba ng Ingles? Do you already know it? I'll be waiting to talk about it with you in our next Filipino sa 3 minuto lesson. Hanggang sa muli! Kamusta kayo? Ako si Erica. Hi everybody, I'm Erica. Welcome to FilipinoPod101.com's Filipino sa 3 minuto, the fastest, easiest, and most fun way to learn Filipino. In the last lesson, we learned the most common greetings in Filipino. Do you remember them? In this lesson, we're going to learn a very useful phrase. Do you speak English? This phrase can be a lifesaver. The majority of Filipino people understand English. But if you ask in Filipino, you can be sure that everyone will understand what you're saying, even if their answer is no. Here's the informal way to ask it. Nagsasalita ka ba ng Ingles? Nagsasalita ka ba ng Ingles? Let's break down the sentence. In Filipino, the verb can come before the subject. Nagsasalita means speaking, followed by ka, which means you. Next, there is ba, which is the question marking particle. After it comes nang, which acts as an object marking particle, marking Ingles, which, as you might have guessed, is English. Another common way to ask if someone can speak English is, marunong ka bang mag-Ingles? Literally, this means, can you do English? Marunong ka bang mag-Ingles? Now we're going to make these sentences formal. Filipinos follow the Spanish custom of changing a singular pronoun to plural in order to show respect in formal situations, so we change ka to kayo and then move it after ba. We also need to add po as a sign of respect. Everything else stays the same. Nagsasalita po ba kayo ng Ingles? Marunong po ba kayong mag-Ingles? Nagsasalita po ba kayo ng Ingles? Marunong po ba kayong mag-Ingles? If you want to be even more formal, you can add mawalang galang lang po before the sentence. It means, excuse me, mawalang galang lang po. Nagsasalita po ba kayo ng Ingles? Excuse me, do you speak English? Mawalang galang lang po. Marunong po ba kayong mag-Ingles? Here are some common responses you might hear. Oo. Yes. Oo. Konti. A little. Konti. Hindi. No. Hindi. Now it's time for Erica's tips. For those of you who are not only English speakers, you can use this question with any language you need. Just substitute Ingles with Español for Spanish, Hapon for Japanese, Italiano for Italian, Aleman for German, and so on. Now you know how to ask if people speak English or even your native language. But I hope this doesn't stop you from learning Filipino. We'll be learning more ways to say excuse me and I'm sorry in our next Filipino sa 3 minuto lesson. Hanggang sa muli! Kamusta kayo? Ako si Erica. Hi everybody, I'm Erica. Welcome to FilipinoPod101.com's Filipino sa 3 minuto, the fastest, easiest, and most fun way to learn Filipino. In the last lesson, we learned quite a few phrases used when apologizing in Filipino. In this lesson, we are going to learn numbers in Filipino. That's right, numbers, mga numero. And you are going to learn them in only 3 minutes, 3 minuto. Are you ready? Let's start. Isa. Isa. Dalawa. Dalawa. Tatlo. Tatlo. Apat. Apat. lima, lima. Anim, anim. Pito, pito. Walo, walo. Siyam, siyam. Sampu, sampu. Okay, now repeat after me. I'll say the numbers and give you time to repeat each one. Isa, dalawa, tatlo, apat, lima, anim, pito, walo, siyam, sampu. Great job! Try to remember these numbers by heart because you'll see them again in bigger numbers. Do you know what is before isa? Here's a clue. It's almost the same as in English. It's zero. Zero. Now let's continue from 11. Labing isa. Labing isa. Labindalawa. Labindalawa. Labintatlo. Labintatlo. Labing apat. Labing apat. Labinlima. Labinlima. Labing anim. Labing anim. Labimpito. Labimpito. Labing walo. Labing walo. Labinsyam. Labinsyam. These numbers may seem longer and harder to remember, but they basically follow a simple rule, which is labi plus connector plus the numbers 1 to 9. In Filipino, the connector is usually NA if the letter before it is a consonant, and NG if the letter before it is a vowel. In this case, since labi ends with I, then we'll be using the NG connector. However, NG sometimes changes its form depending on the letter that follows it. For the letters D, L, R, S, and T, the G from NG is dropped to make it easier to pronounce. Labindalawa, labintatlo, labinlima, and labinsyam. If a P follows the NG connector, the NG becomes an M, just like in labimpito. Now it's time for Erica's tips. Filipinos don't exclusively use the Filipino way of counting. As I've said before, English is commonly used in the Philippines, so it is very common for us to count in English as well. But that's not all. Sometimes, we even use the Spanish way of counting, especially when telling the time. Now you know how to count up to labinsyam. But why stop there? Next time, we'll learn more about numbers. Do you know the Filipino word for 100? Find out in the next Filipino sa 3 Minuto lesson. Hanggang sa muli! Kamusta kayo? Ako si Erica. Hi everybody, I'm Erica. Welcome to FilipinoPod101.com's Filipino sa 3 Minuto. The fastest, easiest, and most fun way to learn Filipino. In the last lesson, we learned how to introduce ourselves in Filipino. In this lesson, we're going to learn how to use good manners as we thank people. Handa na ba kayo? Are you ready? Then let's go. Here's how we say thank you in Filipino. It's very easy. Salamat. Salamat. Salamat means thank you. When saying thank you very much, you just need to add maraming. Maraming salamat. Maraming salamat. Marami means a lot, and the NG is a connector added to marami to connect marami and salamat. Maraming salamat literally means many thanks and is equivalent to thank you very much. During the last lesson, we mentioned the informal and formal way of speaking Filipino. Salamat is the informal way to thank someone. When thanking someone older than you need to use the polite formal form. Do you remember what we need in order to do that? That's right. We just need to add the word po. Salamat po. Salamat po. If you really want to thank someone in a formal setting, you can add maraming, which means a lot, as we have just learned. Maraming salamat po. Maraming salamat po. Now, how do you answer? It's easy. Just say, walang anuman. Walang anuman. Walang anuman literally means it's nothing, but it is the equivalent of you are welcome. Wala means nothing, while anuman stands for whatsoever. It is a very common phrase to say when replying to a friend or a stranger who is thanking you. To make it formal and more polite, just add po. Walang anuman po. Walang anuman po. So when someone says salamat or maraming salamat po to you, you can simply reply with walang anuman or walang anuman po. Yes, it's that easy. Now it's time for Erica's tips. The word salamat is said to have been of Semitic origin. It sounds similar to the Arabic salam and the Hebrew shalom, meaning peace. Filipino has been influenced by many languages throughout history, so don't be surprised if you find similar sounding words from other languages, most especially Spanish words. Do you know that Filipinos have a specific greeting during the noontime? In our next Filipino sa 3 minuto lesson, you learn this and other greetings in Filipino. See you next time. Hanggang sa muli!
Now that you're finished with this lesson, don't forget, as a free bonus, you get over 30 conversation cheat sheets, but only if you sign up via the link in the description. You'll learn how to have flowing conversations and how to answer the most common questions. You can also print out these colorful cheat sheets to keep as physical study material. So don't miss out on this free gift. Click the link in the description and sign up for a free lifetime account to get your PDF cheat sheets.